New York City, 6 a.m. An out-of-control satellite radio show is being broadcasted to millions of Americans. At the controls, Greg Hughes, a father.
I am amazed it lasted this long.
Anthony Cumia, an alcoholic.
Holy mother of God.
And Jim Norton, a comedian.
There's no positives out of this thing, except for everybody's blood.
The three men make up the Opie and Anthony Show, a popular radio program known for its cringe style of entertainment and having very few limits.
Oh, my God.
Okay, no, this is getting really intense now.
It starts funny and then gets very uncomfortable.
In the past, they have been accused of multiple FCC violations and have even gotten their show suspended from satellite radio.
You couldn't have picked a fucking more self-destructive show.
Yeah, crazier the better, yeah.
2019?
I'm 19.
Delicious.
You made Springer uncomfortable. Do you know how hard that is to do?
Thank God this show's on radio.
Everything you are about to hear is real. Real people, real excitement.
Hey, let's go fucking have a good time. What the fuck?
Get ready to experience the thrill of a lifetime. This is the Opie and Anthony Show.
Funny. Good morning. Welcome to the Opie and Anthony.
Good morning.
I was thinking about that. Does that even make any sense anymore?
What's that?
To start every show with, good morning.
Are you just talking to people that know?
Yeah. Or do they just hear
Words,
sex bench, drugs, sex, bench. Katharine Hepburn, get to that soon.
Yes.
Why aren't you taking a piece of my sister's lava cake?
Because I had that wonderful chocolate-dipped Oreo cookie yesterday.
Right.
And, I just felt guilty about it the whole day.
It went right to your thighs?
Oh, right to my thighs.
My sister, I don't know, man, I'm running into her lately, and a lot of these baked goods.
Tell her thank you very much, but you got to keep that shit out of here, because it's too delicious.
And she's going to take on Bobby, and she's going to take on Martha Stewart, my sister.
Yeah.
The Cake Boss is... That's easy.
I mean, shit.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Our baking reality show would be so much better than the Cake Boss.
That looks really good.
You ever watched that Cake Boss?
I've seen it. I think I've strolled onto it halfway through.
Probably jealous, actually, because I'm meaning myself. Because you go to Hoboken.
Yeah.
On a lousy Tuesday afternoon, let's say.
Hoboken.
There's a line all the way down the street for dummies. Sorry, but if you've been in that line, you're a dummy. To just they're in line to go in to see the Cake Boss place.
And watch the...
So I pure jealousy on my part.
See, I didn't even know it was there.
I think I need a little reality show based around F.H. Riley's. And then we get the line.
Why don't you do that?
All the way down New York Avenue. Just so they could see the place where the reality show is filmed.
I've heard Pawn Stars... If you go to that place in Vegas,
thing, right?
There's a line. There's security people now.
Yeah.
And it's constantly packed.
That's Cake Boss.
Yeah.
And they wander in, and of course you got to buy something, and they're like, "Oh, this is where Cake Boss is filmed."
Do they sell little Cake Boss tchotchkes?
I didn't go in.
Are there tchotchkes?
I walked by and said, "Why are these dummies online?"
A teacup? Can you buy a teacup with their name and logo on it?
I'm sure. I'm sure they have all those trinkets, but
God.
But my sister's baked goods is just as good. Just as good. Today it's homemade lava cakes, because I was out there in Huntington yesterday for my mom's 75th.
Ah.
The big 7-5 for my mom.
Wow.
Maybe she doesn't want everyone to know her age, but...
Too late. You let that out of the bag.
You know, things better with me and her, I guess. And,
that's nice.
Things are better. And
better.
And I went over there and said happy birthday, then went to F.H. Riley's with my sister's kid. And then my sister goes, I'm making homemade lava cakes for you guys when you get back here.
Delish.
Yeah, but I don't want to eat this stuff.
I know, you can't.
I want to eat this stuff.
Who doesn't?
But I don't want to eat this stuff. So now
there's temptation everywhere.
And then she made some kind of homemade vanilla something whipped cream. I'm like, you made this from scratch? What are you doing?
They sell that.
She said I whipped it up.
They sell that in stores.
I know.
Everything. I love that. I made it from scratch. It's like, really?
Yeah.
They make a thing. It's called Cool Whip or something.
Exactly.
You take a dollop out. Give me a dollop.
No, this shit was fucking
I know.
good, man. So I brought in the leftovers because then she sends me home with lava cakes. I'm like, I don't want lava cakes laying around all willy-nilly.
It's temptation.
So I brought them in here to see who's weak.
I remember being able to just eat anything. cake and ice cream. When you're a fucking kid, you just shove that shit in your face,
but
it's gone.
You can eat it now.
Yeah, I know, but you think about it.
Yeah, but then you don't go run around outside for 3 straight hours, burning off.
Yeah, ride your bike fucking 15 miles in one afternoon.
Just fucking sits heavy in you.
I'll just slouch on my couch with the remote in my hand. Right. That was tasty.
I don't care. I could eat this stuff, but it just sits heavy.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me. It just feels like...
I feel like I've negated a workout if I eat shitty.
That's about right.
Like what I did yesterday is not. I've completely taken it out of the mix. Yeah.
You call it a wash.
I don't like that at all. Because it's too hard to work. That's why they don't call it a play out.
Right.
It's a workout. You don't want to do it, and it's hard to do. So you don't want to fuck it up by just munching out. And then how fast do you actually eat that? It's gone in probably a minute and a half.
Seconds.
You think seconds?
That lava cake, seconds.
Honestly, I was thinking like maybe a minute and a half of chewing. And
I went to my sister's house, like I said, and she had them all warm and ready with the whipped cream. It took 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
And that takes care of an hour and a half of fucking
cardio,
crunches and cardio and fucking lifting and
it's not fair.
Dips and curls and
it's not fair.
Yeah.
See, look, I got crappy oatmeal here. Look, crappy fucking oatmeal, and look what's over there. Nice lava cake. And you throw that in the microwave for 15, 20 seconds, it's going to be just heaven.
And the smell would permeate the room of just chocolate, cakey.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Give it to E-Rock. E-Rock will eat it. E-Rock eats anything.
E-Rock does not eat chocolate.
What?
What's wrong with you?
Nah, I'm not
You're a racist.
Fan. I don't get the people that aren't chocolate people.
Jesus.
Why don't people like chocolate? What's wrong with you?
It's delicious.
Chocolate is the greatest thing ever invented.
It really is.
I was in Godiva yesterday, and they had the almonds with the dark chocolate.
Almonds?
The almonds. And then the stupid lady's trying to sign me up for what is it?
Chocolate of the month?
Something like that. Like, we send you a piece every week of chocolate in the mail. I'm like, I don't know.
Mail?
She goes, what's wrong with you? I'm like, what's wrong with you? We're arguing. And then I go, you don't look like you're eating a piece of chocolate every week. What does that mean? Well, it means you're not a fat pig is what it means.
Oh, you're being a little sassy with her?
I didn't say fat pig, though. But it was close to saying that. I'm like, no, I don't want to be on your mailing list with a piece of chocolate in the mail every week. But that does sound like it would be a good thing, though.
Chocolate, what is it, though? A little piece, or you get like a big
because
fucking
Godiva is
bag?
like messing around with their flavors, man. There's like a key lime dark chocolate type of thing. Put the key lime in the middle now.
A couple of Marys we are just chatting about delicious chocolate and how it. We got to work this off.
No, but it just.
I got to go to Curves and work this off.
Is Curves the women's gym?
I'm going to Curves to work this off.
That's the women's gym, right?
That's the women's gym.
Because women have decided they need their own gym because of us perverts.
Yeah, we have to go to Cox.
Right.
Curves.
They had to invent a gym for themselves because perverts would make sure they grab the machine right where the girl is doing her bend over.
That's not even. I've been going to the gym, by the way. In case you haven't noticed.
I've noticed. Dan's lost some weight.
I see this girl all the time at the gym, and the gym that I go to. The girls are pretty good. Like, it's a reason to actually go, because if you go, well, I'll be motivated because there's all these hot chicks around.
Yeah.
So there's one chick, and I know she's caught me staring like 1,000 times.
What's she wear?
You just like tights, like those tights material, some like white wife beatery type of thing. But she's my type of chick. Like, she's got tats everywhere. She's got that gothy emo thing on. So I'm doing this. I was doing this thing where it was just like I would pretend that she caught me, but I was really just staring at her so that we could make the eye contact.
So now you're just blatant. You're being blatant.
So nothing ever really came from that. So I was just like, whatever. But obviously, I'm still going to the gym. She's still going to the gym. So I go to the gym the other day. I get on the treadmill. This fucking bitch takes the machine right in front of me, like like she was like hey, you like that? And then she got on the machine for like a half an hour. She fucking knew exactly what she was doing. So fuck that pervert shit at the gym. They know exactly what they're doing, and they fucking like it. They like it.
Getting to the point, though. I mean, they had to invent their own gym to keep us pervy guys out.
To keep the fucking...
I said this on the air. My old gym...
That's the fat chicks, though.
What?
That do that. Because the hot chicks want to show off their hotness.
You think?
Yes. Absolutely. At the gym...
Let me think about that.
They're busting their balls to show off their hotness. The fat chicks are just like, I'm going to try to lose the weight I have from shoving cake in my face all week. So they go to the fat lady gym, which is Curves, and, you know, then guys don't have to watch them and go, ugh, look at her fat jiggle.
Do you have women at your gym that have the pocketbook that they drag from machine to machine?
What?
Yeah, no.
Oh, my God.
What is that about?
It's infuriating. I'm like, I'm obviously not in the right gym if they allow these beddies in here.
What are they doing with the pocketbook? Leave it in your locker.
They have their clipboard, and they have their pocketbook, and then they go from machine to machine, and they put their pocketbook down.
Is that new people?
And then they do
like clipboard.
They do 5 reps with 15 pounds, and then they check it off on their clipboard.
I'm all done here.
And I see them week after week after week, and I want to shake them and go, it's not working. First of all, leave your stupid pocketbook in the locker room. Let's start there. Let's get ready to work out, people.
I like the fat girls that they get on the treadmill and they walk at like 3 miles an hour for 7 minutes and then they get off. It's like, what are you doing? You're not doing anything.
Just long enough to get dizzy.
I think I got to change gyms because then there's the trainers, and I bet you this is some equal opportunity bullshit.
Uh-oh.
The trainers are getting older and a bit out of shape.
Oh, really?
So then I'm thinking, if I'm going to have a trainer, I don't want a guy that's like graying and has a pot belly.
Yeah.
Because then you're looking at him like, why are you telling me how to do this?
Yeah, why don't you do it yourself?
What, you learned how to do it properly, but you don't do it yourself? That doesn't make sense. You want some...
as I say, not as I do. Give me a Twinkie.
You want some animal that's ripped, because then you're thinking, okay, this guy or this girl knows what they're talking about, because some of the girls are ripped too now, which is kind of scary.
My trainer will show me something.
Yeah.
And he'll like have massive weight on and be like, okay, and just do this. And then he goes like, pulls the pin. Clang. Yeah. I'm one plate guy. Thanks, Thunder. Regan bit is great.
Can we play the Brian Regan
I love that
Jim
one.
bit into break
Clang.
today? Clang.
Clang. I'm one plate guy with the clipboard.
So I guess you could take a training class to train other people, but you don't necessarily have to be like a workout person.
Yourself? Nah, I don't like that.
Nah, it bothers me, man. I saw and then the trainers spend half the time in my gym just chit chatting with their clients.
What the hell's that about?
I don't know, man. When I was sort of living in LA for a little while, I had a trainer out there, and the guy was all business.
Yeah.
And then maybe we talked for 5 minutes after the workout, like, you know, about whatever's going on. But when we were in the gym, it was like, all right, we don't have time to talk.
Business.
It was all business, but they're like talking about recent trips, and you know, I watch and study all this shit all day long. So
I have a TV. Chit-chatting. I have a TV in my gym, and I just fixate on that.
Right.
Which kind of makes the time go by. It's a little easier to work out and kind of glance up and watch the news or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, chit-chatting, in between. Like if I'm shaking off, I'm shaking off a set, shaking off my legs or something. Then I'll have a little chit-chat goes on.
This is as the reps are going on.
Oh, no, you can't talk during that shit.
That's absolutely what I'm talking about.
And you actually shouldn't be able to carry on a fucking conversation. No. You should be grunting like an animal.
You should be miserable for that 5 seconds of reps.
Exactly.
My old gym, I don't live in that area anymore. I haven't talked about this in a while, and I don't want to blow it for the other guys that have figured this out, but it's too good for the radio. In between sets, I would go to the the bulletin board. There's a dumb bulletin board like yoga classes today or blah blah blah. And, hey, if you've seen this missing cat, and hey, blah blah.
Tear off the little tab with the phone number on it.
They had this weird like bulletin board in between the two locker rooms, and I went over there one day just to check it out. And then I looked to my left a little, and I go, no. I looked to my left. You could see the mirror in the fucking ladies' locker room.
Oh,
swear
shit.
to God. And then it bounces into
the reflection was.
And all of a sudden, I'm looking at girls in bras. I'm like, this cannot be happening.
Wow.
So then every fucking set I did, I walked over the bulletin board like it was the most interesting thing ever to see if there was anything going on.
Oh, that.
And then I'm feeling like a pervert. And then I'm thinking, who else knows about this? because there wasn't a line there.
How many car services do you need?
But I would like kind of whistle and like make believe like just stretching and like kind of wander over to the bulletin board. I don't think many people. There. Honestly, I don't think anyone else knew about it when I was still at that gym because I didn't see anyone else, going over there doing what I was doing.
Women would notice if they, if they could see the person could see them.
I would love to go back in that gym just to see if it's still happening.
If you can't see my mirrors, you're in my blind spot.
Also, in girls just in bras, I didn't officially see any tatas.
That's hotness, though.
But it was pretty good.
Sneak peek.
Yeah.
We all love the sneak peek.
Oh, my God. Nothing better.
Yeah. The little fucking, inadvertently, look.
Right.
Ooh, she doesn't know I'm peeking at her.
Lady in gym works out in Uggs. Tony in Brooklyn. Jesus.
Uggs.
What are you doing?
What's the consensus on the Ugg? Do we like the Ugg?
Yeah, the Uggs are all right.
Danny gives the thumbs down on the Ugg.
They're just all right.
I'm up in the air on the Ugg.
Yeah?
I'm not sure. Some girls can wear the Ugg and pull the Ugg off. Others, not so much.
I'll tell you, I think it depends on what else is going on with the Ugg.
Oh, what other part of the accoutrement?
Like jeans, whatever. But girls all over Long Island are doing the Uggs with the the tights. I don't know what you call it. Is it just tights or what is it?
What do they call them now?
I don't know what it is. But it's
There's
basically
new words for
it's
'em.
basically leaving the house in a t-shirt, Uggs, and pantyhose, and I love it.
Yeah.
So keep doing that, folks.
That's a good look.
That works.
Don't mind the Uggs.
But it is the official fucking women's shoe of Long Island. Is the Ugg.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of Uggs on Long Island.
Yeah, and Uggs.
And Uggs, yeah. Ugg faces and Uggs on their feet.
Right. That's why it's the official shoe.
The Ugg.
The Uggs are wearing Uggs.
Yeah. Stretchy. They call those. What are the jeans?
Leggings.
There's leggings, but there's also this thing that's jeans that are leggings.
Oh, pajama jeans.
I've seen
We've
those.
seen pajama jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just
Jeggings.
What?
Jeggings.
No, is that something official?
Jean leggings are jeggings.
I never heard this term before.
Dude, look at that. See?
Yeah, I see
They're
it.
called jeggings.
There's the jeggings right there.
And they're leggings, but they look like jeans or something.
Some of these jeggings make girls' asses look a little too flat, though.
Yeah, that
pushing,
girl has an awful ass.
They're pushing down too much stuff.
Find a good ass in jeggings and see, because that's a mom ass. Ugh.
Well, there's.
Hey,
look at that.
That's golden jeggings. Yeah, jeggings is jean leggings.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
A little out of touch, I guess.
Well, they put the Uggs on and walk around with that. You can see camel toe. They're wearing jeans, but you can see camel toe through jeans.
People are saying we would love chocolate in the mail. I'm not getting chocolate in the mail.
Oh.
Get the fuck out of here. That message board is in every gym. Hold on a minute. Let me go to Nate in Philly. You could see inside your women's locker room too, Nate?
Opie, I haven't been in a gym where there wasn't a message board conveniently located next to the women's locker room. It's the straight man's version of the gym teacher's glass wall.
Huh. Wow. I thought I really was onto something. Maybe the people buying these building these gyms are onto something. So I think I kept my membership there a little longer than I probably would have.
You really were. You knew every little fucking detail about a missing tabby. If you saw that cat walking around, you'd absolutely know.
Yeah.
Is that Conan wearing jeggings?
He went with the jeggings?
Look at his fucking cock bulge. He also tucked his dress shirt into the top of the jeggings.
Right.
That's pretty funny.
Well, embarrassed to say, but it has to be said, I'm officially a hardcore Knicks fan again.
Is that it?
Hardcore Knicks fan again.
Well, I guess
and I'm. You know what? Call me the fair weather. Call me all that shit. But
fair weather fan.
What am I going to do? The Knicks have sucked for so long that I really did tap out to the point I didn't even know the players anymore.
Yeah.
This year I started. The last 2 years started kind of taking a peek. Then the Knicks get Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups, by the way.
Yeah.
Who's an amazing player, but they're downplaying that because it's all about Carmelo Anthony.
Melo.
Right.
Melo. They were chanting.
Oh, yeah, man. And his debut, he had, 27 points last night, beat the Bucks, 108, 104, something like that.
You know, he's the third highest scoring Knick for debut player.
Very good. Who's number one and who's number two?
That's actually, I believe, Patrick Ewing.
Uh-huh.
No, I have no idea.
Oh, I don't know either.
I don't know.
I was just going to go with your answer.
I just heard on the news. I heard a factoid, but I blurted it out.
That's a good
so
factoid.
I sound informed.
But
yeah,
now,
the last time you were a fan was when I think you were bitching that Patrick Ewing was doing his fadeaway jump shots.
Oh, you remember that?
Yeah. And that was it. After that, you were all out.
It was driving me nuts. You remember that bit?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking, we got a 7-foot, 8-inch center, and he's taking fadeaway jump shots from 12 feet out. What are you doing?
That was the last we heard you even talk about.
That was
kind
of near the end of Ewing's career. He started doing that fadeaway jump shot shit.
And now you're all back in.
All back in. And I was trying to remember the last time I was an actual fan of the Knicks, where I want to search out, going to games and all that. And I can't remember.
I think it was around that time.
We've been back on radio for 6 years. I definitely have not been a Knicks fan.
No, not at all.
The 2 years we were off, I was wandering the fucking earth.
It was NEW
That's
days.
8 years, so it's at least 9 years. I wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you.
I think it was...
How long has Ewing been retired? See, there's the fadeaway. Thanks, Dan. He made that one, though. But
the fadeaway. There it is.
What are you doing? We have plenty of guys that could shoot from the outside.
That's great.
You need to get down low.
There it is.
Look at that fadeaway jump shot. That's when I knew the Knicks were in deep shit. Yeah, you're putting the finger up.
Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing had a habit of putting that one finger in the air. Guess what? I didn't see no championship.
He'd be like, yeah, there's 1 point.
I didn't see no championship.
No.
Fuck. But at least Carmelo Anthony is just made us completely competitive now. Although this year's team was not bad to begin with, but now wow, we got a team.
They're very excited. That's what I'm hearing when they were talking about on the news. Very excited.
And I'm like, why aren't they talking about Chauncey Billups a little more? This guy's a fucking player, man.
Oh, it's like Patrice said.
He's a bit older, but he's still got a couple of years left, man. A couple real good years left.
Maybe Chauncey is the slouch, the good slouch. What was
I don't know.
Patrice called the bum?
The confident bum.
The confident bum.
We still need some height. We still need some kind of a center presence. But but you know what? We're all right. Ewing retired in 2002.
Yeah,
so I haven't watched the Knicks like on a regular basis in 9 years. Wow, that's the truth. That is the God's honest truth.
Jesus.
Yeah. Ewing's final season as a Knick for Patrick Ewing was the 99-2000 season.
Oh, a Knick.
That was the last time he was a Knick.
Was in 2000. Oh, you're right, because he went over a couple of years. I forgot about that. I forgot about the Supersonics years. You're right. All right. Yeah, but I was still watching a little past 2000. Okay. Yeah, so it's been about 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's craziness.
That's been 10 years.
I remember.
And now all in. One trade, all in.
I heard because
I'm the definition of
the fair weather fan.
Fair weather fan.
I was listening to you just talking now and noticed that you were saying we need some height.
Yeah, we do.
We need a center. It's like all of a sudden you're back in.
All of a sudden, I heard that yesterday.
Oh, really? We need. I'm talking for a lot of New Yorkers, though. There's excitement now, man.
Well, it is. People
if
are
Carmelo
really
Anthony could avoid the drug dealer that wants to kill him.
Oh, what?
Somebody sent me a video. I guess there's some fucking drug dealer that has some old gripe and basically hinted a while ago, you better never show your face back in the hood or back in New York or something. I don't even know how real this video is. I have no fucking idea. Someone tweeted that to me. Yeah. But these guys look like they meant fucking business, man.
Damn. They, I guess they ran out of jerseys. What's his number 7?
7, yeah.
Yeah, they ran out of jerseys.
Everyone grabbed 7 yesterday.
Yep.
So,
yeah. And what number was he? And I think that number was retired from the Knicks. It's up in the rafters.
Wow,
so
you
couldn't actually.
You listened to someone's sports report.
Earl the Pearl, number 15.
Wow, very good. I didn't
know
that.
He wasn't allowed to use that.
I loved Earl the Pearl.
Earl the Pearl Monroe.
He fucking was really tough. Extremely tough to defend. Which way
really?
he going? Oh, my God, yes.
Where's he going?
Spinning.
Where are we going?
He would do some spin shit.
Earl the Pearl, he's taking a shot. Where are we going?
Where are we going? Earl the Pearl was the man.
That's back in the day when they wore the funny shorts.
Well,
was that the funny shorts or the big long shorts?
They really hated the black man in the early days of the NBA because everyone knows the black man has the big hog,
big dick. Yeah,
but they made him if you made it to the NBA, you got to wear the tiny little shorts,
the tighty whiteys almost.
Right.
They were the tighty whitey size, and that was fine when it was just tall white guys playing basketball.
When Bob Cousy was playing, but then
back
they allowed
in the 50s.
Then they allowed the blacks in the NBA, but they made them wear the tight whitey shorts.
Very embarrassing.
I'm amazed their cockheads weren't popping out every time they went for a jump shot or a rebound.
Just fucking jumping up and sticking their big dick in the white guy's face as they're towering over their heads.
It's all good when Bob Cousy was, doing his two-handed fucking push shot,
a layup,
or the underhand, free throw. But man, when the blacks came along
with their big dicks,
could you show me some Google images of some blacks in the tiny little NBA shorts?
tighty whitey NBA shorts? Then they came out with the long jams that would down to their ankles.
Yeah, because then the blacks finally got some power in the NBA and said, "Look, we got to cover up our dicks. We need longer shorts, assholes.
We got big penises."
I'm telling you, look at these poor guys.
Oh my God.
That's Artis Gilmore, from the Colonels, the Kentucky Colonels, by the way.
The Kentucky Colonels.
Yeah, this is ABA shit. But look at Artis Gilmore. He's got his arms folded and he's scowling.
He does not like that.
And that's because he's embarrassed that his cock might fall out of the tiny shorts.
Look, the white guy's got both hands on his hips and his legs are a little spread apart.
Dude, that white guy was a great player.
Really?
I haven't seen his face in years. What's his name? Dan Issel. Thank you. Holy shit.
Dan Issel.
Yeah, he was an amazing player.
And the black guy, he's
it's
almost
Artis
got
Gilmore.
his legs.
He's a legend.
His legs are kind of don't look at it. But you can see the bulge.
He's pushing his left leg forward to hopefully
hide his big dick. His body language, his arms are crossed in front of him, so he's kind of self-conscious.
He's mortified. Like, how are these tiny shorts going to hold my big black hog?
Someday us black people will persevere and get longer shorts.
Right. I had that card. That's Phil Jackson. That
Really?
Knicks card. Sorry, I'm just looking at the Google image.
I see that.
That's Phil Jackson, obviously, when he was playing for the Knicks. I actually have that basketball card.
Crazy white guy.
You can't find any more blacks in the tiny little shorts.
Oh, those are fantastic.
And then you look at JoJo White. Look, he's leaning all the way to the left as he dribbles to kind of keep his cock in his pants as he goes toward the hoop.
Running down court with his fucking big dick and his tight shorts.
Am I on to something?
Totally. This is disturbing.
It's so.
Do you think they finally just said, "Look, we can't have these monsters running around with their dicks"?
You see the picture of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? He's got a rebound over his head, so his arms are up.
Oh,
and,
no!
I mean, you're just less than.
He's fouling you with his dick,
right? Walt Frazier,
personal foul. Yes,
that's why Earl Monroe was doing those spin moves because he just didn't want to be stationary long enough so you could see his cockheads sticking out.
Yeah, this guy.
When that guy played, the shorts were fine.
Yeah, he's the white guy from the 50s.
He's holding the basketball in front of him with two hands. That was like the pose for white guy basketball.
White guy basketball.
Yes.
Boy, the black really changed the face of basketball, literally and figuratively speaking. It just really.
Yeah, you think
became a sport that just white people really had to be good.
Look at poor Wilt Chamberlain in this shot. He's actually leaning down.
Yeah,
to give his cock some more room in those tight little shorts. Look at him.
His stilt to make his Wilt stilt.
And that's what's his name who won 11 champions for the Celtics there.
Damn, man.
Yeah, so
that's some old school fucking shame.
And now if you look at Magic, Magic Johnson had to have the tiny little shorts.
Bird.
Larry Bird was packing nothing.
Look at Larry Bird's fucking Irish white ass is just fucking flat in his little shorts.
Yeah.
Magic's just thinking about AIDS and his little shorts.
He had plenty of room for his little penis. I would assume Larry had a little one.
I had to. Yeah. Larry was a little Irish dick.
But there you go. And then now today, I mean, the shorts are almost down to the knee.
Yeah, they're big and fucking baggy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There he is. Mello.
Did I spell his name wrong last night?
Is it what? Carmelo? Yeah, look at the fucking...
Yeah, they're down to the knees.
Shorts are down to the knees.
See, now they can play properly.
Has there been such a change in uniform over the years? I mean, I know football, if you go way back, they had that wacky leather helmet.
Right.
That wacky leather hat they would strap to their head.
They just had tiny little shorts. I never understood that. And then they had to pull their socks up, really high.
Yeah.
In the old days. But look, now LeBron James could bend down for the loose ball without worrying about his cock falling out.
His dick or his balls popping out the fucking side.
I'm telling you, man. That's when the blacks got the power in the NBA. They were able to change some things.
You think it was the blacks getting the power? Or you think it was the whites going like, we can't have these blacks having their dicks hanging out.
We don't want to see
making
your
us
dicks
look
anymore.
bad.
Right.
Get those longer shorts for these guys. It's crazy.
Artis Gilmore is a mammoth man. He could cross his arms over a golf cart. Yeah, all right.
Damn.
Hope you're going to be disappointed. Knicks don't have a chance.
Oh, boy.
Look, man, there's excitement. We got Carmelo Anthony.
Well, you got to rain on the parade here.
Yeah, why not? There's always going to be haters.
Yeah.
How could you hate today? It was a good move for the Knicks, so how could you hate?
If you're into basketball.
And no one is expecting
Knicks.
a championship this year.
Yeah, but it's a great rebuild time.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, moving forward.
There was
10 years of fucking nothingness.
There was energy in the Garden last night. So, Muhammad Ali had his cock fall out during a match.
What?
Yeah, the same thing was happening with boxing. They made him wear the tiny little fucking shorts. Ron, is this true, or are you just fucking going with the bit?
Oh, no, it's true. It's back in the late 60s, early 70s. He might have even still been Cassius Clay. But they had to have everybody come around in the ring, hold towels so they could... And he had his gloves on, so somebody had to put it back in for him.
They had to put his dick back in? See, I might be onto something there.
Yikes.
Yeah. They were like, enough of the black man's dick popping out. We actually came here to see the sport.
All sports needed to make their shorts longer
sir.
When the black man started becoming the superior athlete.
Right. All right. Danny, can you find out if that's true, if Muhammad Ali's dick popped out? I've never heard that before in my life.
Me either. You'd think it would be on the first page of results, but
yeah.
See, they had to go with the bigger shorts because your black athlete has the bigger penis. Really, Jimmy the Greek? See, your black athlete would breed back in the Civil War days with his giant penis. Really? Is that what happened?
Shane in Westchester.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good, Shane. What's up?
Listen, I just need to say, Opie, you brought up that bit again about looking through the bulletin board and seeing naked girls. Yesterday, you had that jerk-off from New Hampshire radio on, and you knew it wasn't...
What?
Go listen to something else.
No, it wasn't.
I'm too old and
Scorch?
tired to listen to your horse
Scorch
shit.
was great.
Yeah, actually, the feedback on Scorch was wonderful.
Yeah.
And to defend myself, I haven't said the gym thing in probably 3 or 4 years.
We reiterate things. If you've been listening that long, great. If you haven't, great.
Right.
But no need to start bitching and complaining. There's more people than just you. If you're listening to something that you've heard before, other people haven't. So shut it.
And my dumb bulletin board thing was only a minute out of a gym bit that was pretty fucking fresh and new.
It was reiterating.
And then we went with the black cocks falling out of fucking shorts.
Yes.
Say,
how often do we fucking really delve deeply into the black cock?
Shane, you don't have a voice on this show. Sorry, brother. You might have listened a little too long, and you got to move on to something else. I don't know what to tell you.
Take a hike, listen to some other shit, and then if you want to come back sometime, fine. If you don't, fine. Whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
If you could get 20 good minutes out of this radio show every day,
oh my God,
then we've done our jobs.
That's
if you're looking for 4 hours of brand new holy shit material every day,
go fuck your mother.
It's just not here. It's not. You're not going to get that with any radio show.
No, you got to kind of just.
So if you're like, fuck, I heard that before, then move on for a little while and come back and maybe you find something else you like. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you at this point.
Jeez.
Fuck the haters. Well,
jeez Louise.
I don't know what to do with the haters. They just,
I
think their job is to...
Hater gotta hate.
I think their job is to try to destroy this whole thing for everybody. I really do. I think that's their job in the end.
Fuck them.
Or what they're attempting to do. Even though most people still enjoy this fucking radio show. And that is a fact. Or we wouldn't be here.
We're like Gaddafi. We're not leaving.
No.
I don't care if you're protesting.
I was out of touch yesterday because of the mom's birthday thing and the chocolate of the week thing.
Yes.
And all that crap. So what's going on with Gaddafi?
With is it Gaddafi? Isn't that odd? That
I've said Gaddafi my entire life.
I've always said it with the K.
But I've seen it with the Q, too, right?
And the Q and the G. It's because we're just trying to spell a sound. Like, he doesn't spell it with a letter G, K, or Q.
Right.
They spell it with them squiggly lines.
Right.
And then you hear it said, and someone heard, like, Gaddafi. And you're like, oh, how do you spell that?
Andy Levy had a great tweet about that. He goes, he basically said that Gaddafi spells his name so many different ways that he ruined his chances of trending on Twitter or something like that.
That's great.
Andy Levy's a good one to follow,
He
man.
is one of the best.
He's a really good one to follow. He goes, is it with a Q, a K, a G?
He's not going to trend.
How's this guy going to trend on Twitter?
He's splitting everything up.
You split up the masses.
Gaddafi. He's remaining defiant and killing a lot of his own people who are now starting to go like, this guy's a little crazy. Even the military is starting to defect. He's got some high-ranking government officials defecting and coming out and saying that he was directly responsible for the bombing of the Pan Am flight over Lockerbie.
Jesus.
So, yeah.
You know, I did hear that, and if that means we had to have known, right? America?
Yeah.
So why didn't we really...
They all know. I think
we're just trying to keep...
I think Ronnie did do something. I think he bombed the shit out of him.
Well, that's true, because he thought, but now we know through this
now
guy,
it's like,
right?
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, you definitely did it.
Wow, so this guy's just ratting him out for all the horrific things he's done over the years that we've wondered about, right?
Yeah. And then a couple of these fighter pilots that were directed to bomb the protesters with fucking fighters.
Yeah.
So a couple of them punched out of their planes, just parachuted out, let the planes
fuck
crash, said fuck it. A couple other ones defected to Malta and landed the planes there. They just don't want to bomb their own people, which is, kind of noble. But this Gaddafi isn't going. He's no Mubarak. A lot of these guys are not Mubarak.
No.
They are just fucking staying till the end. No one's telling them to leave. They're blaming America. They're blaming Israel, whatever. And they're not leaving.
Well, so how does this end?
How does this one end?
Why does he have enough people still to kind
of... Iron Fist kind of a guy.
Yeah, but it seems like a lot of defections are going on.
Yeah, but he's still got enough people, especially the military. He's still got the military. So
right.
He's able to just rack some fucking head.
Fuck.
And you're not really seeing a lot of the news out of there because it's just some camera phone shit. And that shit's been getting out, and that's pretty graphic. He's slaughtering people.
Right.
Hundreds so far, if not thousands.
You go on Twitter and you get a tweet. If you go to the trending topics and then Gaddafi, then you get a creepy tweet like "Help me!"
Oh, I know. It's
like,
weird.
Is this real?
Someone just got out on their phone. And it's like, I'm being bombed.
Right. They found a place where there's one bar and they're basically sending out an SOS tweet. It's so creepy. Have you read some of those?
Yeah, it is. It is eerie.
I wish I had one right in front of me to actually read. But every once in a while, it's like, we need help in this town. They're slaughtering.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Is this real?
What happened?
Right.
Yeah, they're getting a couple of tweets out.
Creepy.
And it is creepy because these are people on the verge of being blown up, shot, stabbed.
Right.
Fucking whatever.
And they're hoping that someone reads their tweet.
Yeah.
But they only have 7 followers.
Yeah. You really need followers during a revolution.
Right.
You really want to have a few followers.
Because I just happen to read this one, but it's in the trending topic area where they're just flying by like a slot machine. So did someone besides me actually see the Help SOS tweet?
Help SOS, please RT.
Right. Please RT immediately.
Could you RT this because I really need help?
Right.
They're banging my door down now.
And then half the people he's just looking for followers.
Oh, he's got fucking 5 followers. Abdul is following him.
Right.
And the other 4 are all Mohammed.
Yeah. But kind of creepy to see the SOSs coming out of there.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing.
If you can find one day, that'd be great. But they fly by though, man.
That's the only thing.
You got to camp out on that trending topic to kind of see it. But So he's still hanging in there.
Yeah, he's there. Whoever it is, I don't even know the guy's name, but in charge of in Bahrain, he's still there racking some head. And Egypt is kind of getting a little rambunctious still because the military is still in charge. Yeah. They don't have a leader in there. They don't know.
Yeah.
We got to wait for elections, so they're getting a little edgy. Yemen, same thing. Gas prices are up over $100 a barrel now.
I know.
Because Libya is a huge supplier for Europe.
Right.
And they're now assuming that the Europeans are going to start honing in on our shit from Saudi and stuff.
And I heard that Libya has that sweet crude oil. What's that mean?
Light sweet crude.
What does that mean? You learn so much shit when there's a revolution going on. I don't pay attention to these places usually.
Yeah, it could be refined into like the
very
good
easily?
shit that we need. Yeah, it's a lot easier to refine.
Right.
What's the price per fucking gallon here now?
I don't know.
Easy.
I
And
filled
how
up
did diesel
yesterday.
get so expensive? Why is diesel? Didn't diesel used to be less than regular gas?
I believe
and now it's
so.
like more.
I believe
we got 1,000 truckers that'll answer that. But
what are we going to pay this summer? $5 a gallon?
Oh my God! Do you see it going up to
at
5?
least 4?
I think we're going to crack well into 4.
Yeah,
definitely.
And of course, it hits when we all decide we need to start driving around a lot more.
Yeah.
It's so weird how they figure that out. So weird.
It's Mideast violence serious. Expect higher prices is on this gas station
that could
sign.
Say anything.
Yeah.
People like it's going to be raining tomorrow. Expect higher prices.
Yeah, they're gonna. I believe they like to take advantage of us, huh?
Oh, please, these motherfuckers! I had to raise prices. Very bad violence in the Middle East. I had to raise the price. Yeah, when do you lower it? If everything clears up, you're gonna lower it? I don't think so.
Right.
Prick, you prick.
Old Man Dick writes, light, sweet, crude. Yum. It does sound tasty, right?
It does. It always sounded like a good coffee from Dunkin'. I always liked a lot of sugar and some heavy cream. Light and sweet, just like my crude.
If I said, would you like some light, sweet, crude, or one of my sister's lava cakes, you'd have a tough decision on your hand.
I take it black, like my men. Great scene that was.
All right, why don't we take our first break? Another busy show.
Yes.
We got Duff McKagan coming in.
Duff's coming in.
We like the Duff.
Louis of the CK.
Of the CK.
And on the phone, wow, Donald Rumsfeld. Hey. I've always been a fan of Rummy. He's got a book out, Known and Unknown, a memoir, Donald Rumsfeld. Look at that guy. Look at the picture of him on the back, dude. What do you think he knows even at this point in his life? Look at that picture. He looks like one of them guys that just knows everything that happened in the world.
That's from 75 when they were the evacuation of Saigon.
Yeah.
There's a picture of him on the back. Look at him playing tennis as a young guy with fucking Ford.
Is he wearing short shorts?
No, man.
How's his hug?
This guy's wearing short shorts. What's that guy about?
He's playing tennis with Ford.
The fuck?
This guy was involved in everything that happened since, like, the Vietnam War.
When did he start?
I would say, Vietnam.
I mean, he's been, like, the military guy forever. But
Yeah,
I mean, like, when did he start kind of doing the
Navy and
the government White House thing?
The Marine.
Is this him shaking
contingent
hands
of Marines assigned to...
Look at him shaking hands with Dwight Eisenhower, 1962.
With Ike. This guy's been in the shit for a long-ass time.
As just a young guy, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool pictures in this book.
Yeah, I'll never read this.
Oh, really? Nah. You peruse? Do you peruse a book?
I'll read some.
Will you peruse a book without reading it?
No, I'll look at the pictures.
Yeah, you got to look at the pictures and then read the under thing. There he is with Reagan, yes.
Nixon.
Donald Rumsfeld. He's talking about Lebanon. Hey, Will. Reagan was deeply distressed over the loss of American lives, of course. In the end, the problems of Syria, Lebanon, and Israel proved as intractable for his administration as for others. It was not for lack of will on the president's part. Yeah, this guy's he's been in the shit.
This looks like some tough reading.
And I want to know about not just what he's been doing, what he's been through, but how he feels about his legacy. Because he is really known as an evil guy. He's known for a lot of people as an evil guy. And I see him as being a patriot. I don't see this guy as having no lack of love for country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, he was in there during a rough time.
Right.
A lot of Cold War stuff, and we'll see. We'll talk to him. I am a little petrified, though, with Louis C.K. being here and having Donald Rumsfeld on the phone, because Louis, not one to mince words, and not one that I would think would be a fan of Donald Rumsfeld.
Well, that's good then.
Yeah?
Yes. You got to challenge him a little bit.
If he calls him a nasty word?
I don't have the knowledge to challenge him, but maybe.
I don't think anyone does. This guy's been in front of so many different press corps, there's no throwing him.
Right.
He used to stand there and be like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He'd point at them and know everyone's names. Bill? What? Why were there no weapons of mass destruction? I'm not going to get into the details of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd be like, why?
He knows how to deflect.
Oh, he deflects like fantastic.
What do you think? A bunch of shock jocks like ourselves are going to get to the bottom of what he's all about?
I don't think we're gonna get to the bottom of anything.
He's actually, it's going to be just a very normal interview.
We'll talk.
I don't need the government prying into my life because I pissed off Donald Rumsfeld.
Oh my God, yeah.
Fuck that shit.
What did Patrice call it? The book of fucking dead people? Right. It's like it's got a book of everyone that he's directly been responsible for being dead, and it's giant, and he doesn't want to be in it.
Yeah, fuck that. All right, we'll take our first break. We got the Brian Regan Jim bit.
Love this one.
I got it over here, man. What?
Oh.
What happened? We both got it.
No, you could play that, but I was wondering if you wanted to do something else before that.
What?
Because you had mentioned a catchphrase that we had production for.
Can we play
You can save it. I mean,
after the break, a brand new production piece, Billy the Bass Man, Where Are We Going?
Oh, damn.
Because I figured we'd play it in show because we might want to fucking comment about it.
Nice.
D-Boy came up with this with the help of... it's D-Boy?
Great animation.
It's a D-Boy production?
Everything's a D-Boy production.
D-Boy production. I like to call it Lionsgate.
Lionsgate?
Yeah, he's like Lionsgate back there.
Nice.
He can't even defend himself today.
No, he's not here.
Also, you might want to listen to Ron and Fez later because they changed the studio, and I'm sure Ronnie's going to have some comments about it.
Oh, this is great. We're here in Opie and Anthony Studios, broadcasting live from the Opie and Anthony Studios.
There used to be a couple banners that had our name on it.
And they could be torn down,
and then you put a Ron and Fez banner up or something. Oh, right. There was Velcro.
And then when Ron and Fez would have something going on, they would put their banners up.
Sure.
And now the entire wall is covered, and there's no seams to rip down like panels.
No, you can't rip none of this
The
down.
walls are all covered with giant Opie and Anthony, Sirius XM radio,
logos,
satellite.
With no room for Ron and Fez. So.
No, and there's not nary a Ron and Fez to be found on the wall. So I think we're going to hear Ronnie later on talk about how he's broadcasting from the Opie and Anthony facility.
We had nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Don't blame us, please.
Please.
All right, quick break. First this.
I joined a health club, and that's intimidating. They always have some big giant guy showing you around. Hey, think I'm going to join in here? Follow him. I felt like a little monkey. Where are we going, Thunder? They gave me a clipboard for my first day. Can you feel like more of a loser with a clipboard? I'm new. I'm supposed to check things as I see them. And I think the guy was making up muscle names just to play games with me, you know. This machine right here is for your flactoid. That's the toy I'm working on. And then he leaves. I don't remember anything he said. All I know is I don't think I ever felt so alone in my life. I'm in a health club with a clipboard. Nobody's talking to me. You know? I had black socks on. All I knew is I didn't want to follow these big guys that are able to move the entire rack of plates, you know. I don't want to go next and be moving only 2 plates. Clank! 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 I'm the 2-plate guy. Clank! Who wants to spot me? Clank! So I get away from these guys, and I go over to this other area where there's nobody around, and I got into this one thing, but I got into it wrong, apparently. I don't know where your arms and legs are supposed to go, so I just get in there and I just start moving stuff. This guy comes up, "Hey, buddy, would you mind getting out of the painter scaffolding?" Checking the exits.
Call the Opie and Anthony Show now. 866-WOW-1-WOW. That's 866-969-1969. Cell phone or PDA users, send your feedback to feedback@opieandanthony.com.
I love the MacBook.
Gotta love this. Louis C.K. in studio. Very nice. Promoting the Borgata. He doesn't have to promote that. That thing's going to be sold out. It's April 23rd. For tickets, go to Borgata.com. April 23rd, Louis C.K.
Yes, sir.
We got Donald Rumsfeld calling in today.
I know. I'm really excited about it.
Are you?
I'm really excited.
You a big Rummy fan?
Oh, God. I'm just so excited that we're going to actually be speaking to this guy. It just feels like a very rare opportunity.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
A rare opportunity is one way to put it.
Oh.
Well, he's got a new book out.
Inner circle. This is the guy. This is the guy.
This is a guy. You look at some of the pictures in there. You see him during the Cold War, during Vietnam. This guy was in all of this stuff.
No, he knows actually what's going on.
Exactly.
He actually knows.
He knows.
Can you imagine what he knows that he'll never tell anyone?
Oh, my God.
Because this book is a waste of time because he knows real stuff that he'll never write about.
It's just his memoir.
The shit he's taking to his grave.
But on his deathbed, he goes. He should just release it and go, "Here you go. This is what I really know."
There are aliens at Roswell.
Right.
Yes.
We did kill Kennedy.
There's an interview with Jimmy Carter. I don't remember who did it, but somebody who asked him, "Is there, when you become president, do they sit you down and tell you, here's what's really going on?
The deal.
Aliens and all kinds of stuff." And then do you carry that to your grave? And he said, "Yep."
He just said, "Yep."
He said, "Yep," like a blanket, yes.
Yep.
And they said, "Well, what are the things?" He says, "I'm not ever going to tell anybody, but yeah, they tell you some things that will really surprise you."
Wow!
And they also scare you to the point where you're not even going to release it on your deathbed because you know they're going to probably take out your entire family or something, right?
Yeah,
exactly. So you got to be you got to be a loner that knows all this stuff.
And this is one of those guys. I mean, he's one of the guys who tells. He's not one of the people who gets told that.
No.
I absolutely
he tells the people.
That.
Yes, he is the teller of the story.
Teller of the crazy things.
Yeah, come on in here. I got something to tell you.
Oh,
and then it's just.
I never missed a single press conference of this guy.
No,
weren't they fantastic?
Unmute the TV. Rummy's on.
I loved the Rumsfeld press conferences. Were the best. He could deflect questions like a superhero with fucking with bracers on his arms.
No, that really is. That is like you're defending. Like you're on the cutting edge of the world's everything, and you're fixing your tie and just standing there fixing your tie and going, fixing "No, I ain't telling you that." Oh, the balls!
We'll move on. Bob. What's your question? Knows the name of all the reporters.
So defiant.
Knows their family. Knows where they live.
Knows their credit history.
Knows if they're going to be audited.
Right. Knows how much they owe on their house.
Rummy.
Is there anything in particular you want to talk to him about or ask him?
I'm sure somebody from his camp is listening.
Man, I don't even know why we're talking to this guy. Why are we taking a chance like this?
A chance?
We're not going to get anything out of him, and it's just going to make our lives miserable.
No, I'm excited to talk to Mr. Rumsfeld.
Yes. Donald Rumsfeld, you see the picture on the back?
He's still looking good. He, by the way, he ain't done.
No.
Next Republican president is going to bring him back.
He'll be right back in.
Yeah.
He'll be right back in. You see the picture on the back of the book? Like that is the look of a guy that was during the Cold War that just knew everything.
How close we really were to the world blowing up.
To the bomb actually going.
Yep.
He was standing in the room while people's fingers were on buttons to launch missiles going, well, here it is. All right, stand down.
He knows what had to happen and not there be those wars.
Right.
He's got to be pushing.
But then on the front he says, but I just put on a polar fleece and stand on my porch. That's all.
That's it.
The casual shot.
Throw this polar fleece on. Take a picture for the cover.
Yeah, he's looking good.
With his sensible jeans.
That's what. Yeah, Sarah Palin has a polar fleece on her cover too.
Really? Is that the look?
That's the new
I must
thing.
say
It's like,
something.
but I got a polar fleece on.
You look like
would I ever
regular
do to anybody?
Right. Look at me.
Can't hurt a fly.
Come on.
All right. Well, we got that happening. What
Rummy.
time?
He has things to ask him.
In about an hour.
I'd like to ask him
Mr.
about
Rumsfeld.
some of the situations that are going on now in the Middle East when he's not involved, and if he, how maybe he would like to see a president handle things, and does
What
he
did
feel
say
left
to Gaddafi
out?
yesterday when
When you were on the phone, you think he's on the phone with Gaddafi? he's got a bunch of phones in his house. Gaddafi,
right?
Fucking
right.
Ahmadinejad is in the other line.
Yeah.
All right, we're taking a call from fucking.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What do you think of the revolution going on out there, Louis? Any thoughts on the whole Egypt, Libya, Yemen, Tunisia?
That's pretty exciting that people are pouring out on the streets of countries like that, and then guys are having to leave.
Yeah.
I mean, Gaddafi's crazy. He was the guy. He used to come to New York and go to Studio 54 and do coke. He did. He used to fly in New York.
Fantastic.
He used to be in like the New York Post once in a while. Gaddafi was at Studio 54 last night.
And
he was
hanging
one
with
of those
Brooke
guys. He would have been
Shields.
on TM. Nowadays, he would have been on TMZ.
TMZ, yeah.
And he doesn't come here anymore, but he used to. No,
Well, yeah.
he's just a guy who gets, much pussy and gets high. And he's been, so that was in the 80s.
Yeah.
So he's just been in like a deep, rich guy crazy freeze. Fucking hookers that get killed the next day.
Yeah.
That kind of.
Without an inkling of ever being thrown out either.
No,
this
now he's
just
like, what?
Perked up out of nowhere.
Yeah. There's give me an umbrella. I'll tell them. He's completely lost.
He's
his mind.
obsessed with that
to do.
umbrella, man.
He loves the umbrella.
What's that about?
Keeps the sun off of him? I don't
Really?
know.
But he's got the skin. He can handle a little sun.
I don't know. Didn't a comic once do a whole bit on him, too? It's like he's the head of the place 40 years. He's
Yeah.
been ahead of this. Why is he still just a colonel? Like
Colonel Gaddafi.
somebody done something. You can make yourself General Gaddafi.
Right.
Why does he insist on just... He's been a colonel for 40 years.
No, he's
That's a
honest.
great point.
He hasn't.
He really hasn't
done
really
anything.
done anything?
Well, he just
to merit...
no, not militarily speaking.
How does it end? Suicide or the people take him out?
Well, his rhetoric is quite...
Because they said he can't go
volatile.
anywhere.
He doesn't really have any country that
Yeah, no
care
one
to
wants
take him
him.
anymore.
No. And a lot of Libya now is all divided. I mean...
Well, it's funny that Egypt's that guy being overthrown. Notice I went and then quit on knowing what the fucking name is.
He's yesterday's
No, I think
news.
that it's totally. Yeah, nobody gives a shit that Egypt's government doesn't exist now.
Yeah,
Right.
there isn't one.
Well, they're mad though already.
They're getting mad already that
They're going to
nobody...
protest again because they're mad at what the
Well, because
the
I don't think
cabinet
they,
or something.
I
they
don't
set
think
up.
they want the military in charge until September.
Yeah, that's not usually a good result of a revolution.
Is to have
that
the military in charge. It's like,
took
we'll take
over.
care of it.
They never had a guy though.
Yeah.
Usually you have a guy standing by ready to take over.
That's kind of great, though, to me. There wasn't a guy.
Right, of
It was
course.
really just the populace.
Right.
We don't like you.
That didn't
Leave.
want it anymore. And actually, they went about it the right way, is that they're nonviolent, basically. They didn't do anything. And so they gave every world leader a platform to say, you got to
gang rape a white woman.
do something.
It's about their only violence.
Well, that goes on all day in Egypt.
They pinched her really
that's
hard.
not a big deal.
Pinched her really hard.
The reports are coming in that she got pinched really
and maybe
hard.
her nipple got pinched.
Maybe,
Something
no,
like
definitely.
that.
The sensitive
Yeah.
areas, they said, got pinched really hard, and
that
she
they
got
were-
beat with flagpoles.
They were calling her
you're talking about
Jew,
something real.
Jew.
Lara Logan.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
The white
It's like,
reporter.
you guys are really getting creative with
Yes,
this weird
yes.
idea.
No, the white reporter they decided would be just fine in the square with a little security, meaning the camera guy
And
that
she
might
got
have
pinched.
might have
Oh,
taken
did
a
she get
karate
pinched?
class once.
She got
She got pinched.
Really hard.
beaten
Oh,
with
really?
flag
All the details.
beaten with those flags they were
Right.
carrying around the flagpole.
Sexually assaulted.
Pissed on.
She got pinched where?
Bitten on
They
her
said
nipples.
in sensual areas.
And sensitive
Or
areas.
sensitive
yeah,
areas.
yeah.
Excuse me.
Sensual areas.
Sensual.
She was sorry.
Pinched in sensual areas.
Sensual.
in
Sensual.
sensitive areas. So
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
yeah, but what the
some hard nipple tweaks.
Yeah.
And, I don't know.
And then they were saying maybe some rape.
Maybe some
Maybe
a
some
little
rape.
rape. Maybe a little
some
rape. Just a little rape.
and
went on.
flagpoles.
and flagpoles and beatings.
You can only imagine what
They
happened.
were
with
yelling
flagpoles.
Jew, 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 even though she wasn't Jewish.
Right.
They were
got
just
a little
yelling.
confused.
They love yelling Jew when they're beating people over there.
Yeah.
But now some of these other countries like Libya, they think, all right, it worked there. Now let's give it a try here,
Sure.
and we'll make him leave. He's not leaving. He's bombing and shooting his people. So that's a little different take on this whole thing.
Yeah, he's actually strafing the crowds with jets.
Yeah, he's taking jet
Isn't that
fighters
wonderful?
and bombing and strafing them.
But a
some of
bunch
these-
of them, I guess, won't shoot.
Well, they're horrified. A couple went to Malta, wasn't it?
Yeah, a couple
And then a
defected.
couple said, you know what? I don't even need this plane anymore. And
Yeah.
they just ejected and said,
Right.
fuck this.
Pulled a Maverick.
Right.
Said,
That's it.
I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
No, I remember that in the first war with Iraq, whichever one that was, I don't remember.
Yeah, whenever that
First,
was.
you can ask Rummy
Rumsfeld,
later.
he'll know.
Yeah,
They'll tell you.
And there was a thing I remember on CNN that a fleet of a squadron of Iraqi jets had taken off.
Yeah.
And that they were going to hit Egypt. And then they watched, I saw on the news on some map, they just turned around and went to Syria and landed and asked for college education. That was the end of it. That was the end of the Iraqi Air Force.
The whole Air Force just left.
They must have gone from, yes, sir, absolutely, we are going to get everyone. And then once they were in the air, they were like, what?
Yeah. Let's turn this thing around.
Let's go to Morocco.
Fuck this. They're going to kill us.
They just landed.
They get our asses handed to us. Mm-hmm. That's,
But they're going to get Libya, right? The people will get Libya eventually.
I don't know. No one's
This is
really...
going to be a tough one?
This guy ain't going down. Gaddafi isn't...
but
but he has nobody. I mean, that's
his
like,
people are leaving him.
Where does power come from?
Yeah, but he's still got enough people shooting at civilians.
Yeah.
Unarmed civilians.
He has a lot of money. He probably has a lot of actually like gold bars.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to him giving some pilot a gold bar
to just drop fucking napalm on his people. Because he still has enough of that. He's got enough money and enough power.
Well, these
and military.
guys, the leaders, that's their lives are so weird because they don't care literally about their countries. They just are.
No.
They're like royalty. They're like old European royalty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they
They're
don't
just
care.
people that live in the palace, and they just eat shit and they make deals with other people.
It must
they
get
sap the country's
dull.
resources, and so the look on his face is like, I don't understand why I'm being asked to defend this. This is just, I'm a despot. What part of that do you not understand?
This is what it is.
I stay till I'm dead. When did this not start not happening?
And then my kid takes over. That's how it works.
Exactly. My kid takes over. He's worse because he was raised. At least I fought to get here.
Yeah, he was raised in
After
that.
me, he's going to be a kid who was raised in this decrepit, fucked up environment, who's never seen a poor people except for the ones we eat.
Yeah. Always had complete impunity.
Yeah, now it's his turn.
He could just rape and pillage and kill without any consequence. And now he's in charge. Yeah,
amazing. That's the way the world.
I heard
run.
rivers of blood. When you hear them, whenever they mention rivers of blood will flow.
That's not good.
Not a good sign for the populace.
No.
This guy says Gaddafi has a house in Jersey. Brian in Philly.
Hey, good morning, Opie, Anthony, Louie.
Bob Gaddafi.
Danny, if you could help us out, I got to see if Gaddafi actually has a house in Jersey. Where's his house?
Too. Inglewood, New Jersey, he owns a property. If you remember...
he pitched his tent in the backyard. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, when he was at the UN thing last year or the year before, he actually owns a property in Inglewood, New Jersey. And if things go really bad, he may end up, there. But
Oh, you think he'll end up there? Yeah, you think we'll take him in?
Are we going to see him at Jets games next year?
Yeah, he's going to be on the floor at MSG with some
Next to Spike
popcorn.
Lee.
Yeah,
There's Muammar Gaddafi.
talking to Woody Allen.
Just taking in the game.
With his weird little beard. Sitting next to...
Former murderous dictator Muammar Gaddafi taking in the game. Look at him, big fan, big Knicks fan.
Giving a peace sign for the Jumbotron. What's up?
Yeah.
5 people. Woo!
Yeah. Wearing a Jersey Shore fucking shirt.
This guy used to live next to Gaddafi or
What?
his son or something.
That was your neighbor, Gaddafi.
Well, all these guys have huge families. Like the guy in Egypt,
Right.
the whole thing. And also, by the way, the leader of Afghanistan that we support. They have big families. The whole thing is these clans.
Yeah.
And whoever gets in charge just starts, they plug in like fucking ticks and they start sucking the blood of the economies and giving all the money to their
people.
To their people.
Not their people, but
to their
family,
clan.
Yeah.
And everybody who's a Gaddafi is fucking rich. And then in Libya, meanwhile, Libya's getting grayer and less
like a tick.
Fruitful, yeah.
Like what a tick does. And what, the women are just constantly pregnant, I would assume.
Yeah, they just you keep growing and you send people out into the world and, it's a fucked up.
Really is. And to have such a resource, that they have so much fucking oil, Libya, and to have that much money coming in, and the people are just impoverished. Yeah. It is amazing.
Well, and even on every level. Like, I once talked to a homeless guy in Union Square or wherever it was, somewhere in New York. I smoked some marijuana, which I'm not good at. Like, I have to get away from people when I get high.
Really?
I was with some comedians and it was Doug Benson, who's a famous pot smoker. And he gave me some pot, and I was like, okay, well, I'll see you later. Because I can't be around anybody.
I can't smoke this with you.
So I was really high on 14th Street, just standing there, and some guy says, can you give me $1? What is this guy? Weird looking, interesting guy. And I gave him $100 so that he would talk to me. I just didn't want him to ask. It was a big crowded area, and he could have been doing better.
Yeah.
So anyway, I asked him about his life, and he told me he's from Pakistan, and he told me his whole life that his father sold him to his uncle when he was like 12 years old, and he was moved to Queens, where he worked in a gas station, and he lived in a basement room of a gas station in Queens.
The basement of a gas station.
And he would just be brought upstairs, and he worked like 17-hour shifts. He just worked until he would fall down, and then they'd go down in the basement, and they'd put a little food in him. And he said he did that for something like 13 years.
God!
And then when he was
a slave,
when he became too old to, once he became not a minor, you can't, then he becomes capable of
filing
suing
charges
them,
and things like that, right?
So they just toss him out. He said, then I didn't even have the gas station job, and then so he had a few jobs, and now he's homeless. But that's what, it was a family business thing.
Yeah. And then they throw you out. Wow.
Then you're out on your ass.
Brutal.
Let's go to
Jesus
Michael,
Christ.
who lived next to one of the Gaddafis. Michael, what's the story?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Louis C.K., by the way, in studio.
Louis, love your work.
Thank you.
Anyway, when I lived in Vienna, Austria in the late 90s, I was in high school over there. And one of his sons, and Louis is 100% right, he's got like 20 brothers and shit. So he's over there and he's studying in university. And you'd think like a dictator's son would kind of have that same mentality. This guy's a complete fucking stoner. Smokes pot constantly. And he would run around and do all this crazy shit around the neighborhood. But even though he was studying over there, he still had diplomatic immunity. His dad sent him over there as, quote, a diplomat. So he used to do all these crazy shit, throw parties. He tried getting a tiger to live in his backyard for a while. It was just
they love that
really,
shit.
They
love
and the
shit
thing
like
is,
that.
that's what his father is.
Yeah.
Right.
He's not, dictators are not shrewd and, really smart. Hitler was like the other thing. These guys are like, Gaddafi's one of 40 sons or whoever his father was. And he was the one who got the gig.
Yeah.
But he's
the Libya
fucking
gig.
wasted all the time. I'm pretty sure Gaddafi is on drugs.
Just fucked up. He looked
all the time.
He looked so fucked up when he was
no, he
giving those
comes
speeches.
too much. Like, he just came on a teenager's
dehydrated.
face for the 50th time that day. When we saw him with the umbrella,
yeah.
He was covered in whatever fucking tiger cum, and he fucking just had jizzed in some way that makes you not want to be in public so much.
Look at him with his umbrella.
Smoked tons of pot. Probably did all that kind of drugs like in Last Lieutenant, whatever that shit that was that he did that made him look so fucking
Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah, in Bad Lieutenant in the morning, how bad he looked in the mornings, like that kind of drugs, those crystal meth drugs that really fuck you up,
completely fuck you up.
And he's doing weird. He shat in some fucking guy's mouth while he came on his mother's
and then
face.
Killed everybody that
Donald
he was involved with
on
that
in a couple
day.
hours. And
yeah,
and then he woke up and was told, "You're getting thrown." And what?
Give me my umbrella.
I'm
I gotta
talking.
talk to these people. Right?
I'm talking. Get me my umbrella.
So, did Michael? You have a point to your call, there, Mike?
What the hell are you talking about?
His son was blah blah blah. School.
Yeah, his son was just kind of eccentric. He was kind of a cool guy.
Cool guy. There you go.
Hang out with. And, you know, he got to do shit.
Well,
and
that
break the
diplomatic
law.
immunity is pretty great.
Yeah.
Unless you're in, Afghanistan? Is that where that guy is?
But supposedly some of the Bin Ladens are cool people, so...
Hey, possibly. I mean, he was a great guy to hang out with. Fucking looked like some 90s grunge flannel shirts and the long hair and all that stupid shit. So, I don't know.
And he was a
Thought it might
Gaddafi.
be-
It's pretty odd.
No, I mean, Osama Bin Laden, he's got...
he's got family that was living
family
here.
that were living and going to school in Boston. And,
Yeah.
And we got calls back then. Oh, man, I knew that guy. He was cool. He had to leave school very quickly.
Yeah.
But,
You got to have, the bad guy in your family.
I guess. It's weird, though.
Oh, is that, who is that? Bin Laden's what? Niece? Yeah, she was trying to get a modeling career going.
Yeah.
Kind of, I think people are a little put off.
Yeah, it's really
It's kind of hard to really...
tough to hire for a modeling gig. I don't care how hot you think she is.
You're just like, hey.
Who's going to be the brave guy to do that?
Ginger Bin Laden. It's not really a...
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, but, yeah, she's the niece of the guy, the towers. And,
that tower thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if we really want to make her represent our new fashion line that's coming out.
Right. Well, look, Louis got a sandwich in front of him. Why don't we take a quick break?
Fine by me.
Now, I want to talk about this bench, the sex bench, with the pot and the sex.
Oh, yeah, there's pot and
Great little
sex
story in
going
the
on.
paper today.
I don't know.
Little tease there, Louis.
Oh, wow, radio tease.
We got a bench that people are having sex on and smoking some pot.
And where is that?
But the bench is dedicated to a very famous individual.
Oh,
So you never
nothing about it.
You can never keep those things sacred or safe or anything. It
I
just,
think it's a good idea to name a bench after someone.
I bet it was
Thinking that people would take it very seriously and just have a nice little lunch there. And
I bet there was an unveiling when it was first put there, and a pomp and circumstance, and everything nice, and now people are just fucking and smoking pot.
yeah, it's a horrific bench. Louis C.K. promoting the Borgata. April 23rd. Tickets go to Borgata.com. Are you going to go down and see Louis?
I love the Borgata, and I love Louis, so yeah.
If I can sell, I think we got like 500 tickets left for that show. If I can sell it out, we'll add a second show. If I can sell it out by the end of this month,
right,
then we'll add a second show. I would really like to do that.
That thing will
because then
sell
I
out.
get more
Hell yeah.
money to spend on things that I like to put in my body. So 500 tickets if we sell them today.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this for Louis. You know you're going to have a good
Sell
time.
it out.
Right. Where are we going? D-Boy came up with this. Based on Bob Kelly's brand new fucking character, Billy the Bass Man.
Billy the Bass.
He's one of the biggest comedy names in Middle America and south of the Mason-Dixon line.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up.
It's Billy the Bass Man.
All right, now settle down. Oh, well, I'll tell you where we're going to go to Funnyland.
He's back with an all-new CD. Where are we going?
What do termites eat for breakfast?
Oh, what, Billy?
Oatmeal. Where are we going?
Fat, uneducated slobs are calling it a comedic masterpiece.
Did you hear about the lookalike competition in China? Yeah, everybody won.
Jim Crow is rolling in his grave with laughter.
Fuck it. Oh, hey. I hate the fucking... Oh. Just like you do. Where are we going?
Move over, Larry the Cable Guy. There's a new bland, predictable redneck in town.
All right, what's Mary short for? She got no legs. Where are we going?
It's Billy the Bass Man and his all-new CD.
Where are we going?
Available now at truck stops and Cracker Barrels everywhere.
Call the Opie and Anthony Show. 866-WOW. That's 866-969-1969.
We got Louis C.K. in the studio. April 23rd, the Borgata Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. That's a great gig for Louis, and man, you should go see him. Obviously, I saw Louis.
Yeah.
We talked about it the last time you were in at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
What an amazing show!
Thanks, man.
Just an amazing show. Yeah, it's perfect for
such
it.
a cool
perfect for it.
It's the only place in Atlantic City that's...
It really is like Vegas, kind of. That it's got that Vegas vibe. It doesn't feel like I stayed in another hotel right on the boardwalk once, and it felt like I stepped into the 70s.
And it feels like you're in Atlantic City.
Yeah. You know you're in Atlantic City.
Right. The Borgata could trick you into thinking, man, I took a fucking flight to Vegas.
I went to Vegas.
That's exactly the difference, yeah.
There's some old diner waitress bringing the drinks at this other casino, bringing the drinks to the table, and you're just like, and then you look at the Borgata babes and shit walking around. They're just stunning.
No, the other Atlantic City places, it's like you're faced with the economy you're hurting with everything you do. There's supposed to be more of a buffer there.
Yeah.
Where you can get lost in it. But Atlantic City, the dealer looks at you like, thanks for fucking up my hometown, asshole. Would you like another card? Like they just look depressed.
God damn, that is it.
You know?
Yeah.
My father owned a house, and now I live in a fucking shack.
Right.
So that you could play blackjack.
Yeah, hope you're having fun.
Yeah.
Oh, look, blackjack.
I would hit on that, yes.
You so see the corruption. All you have to do is just drive around a little bit, less than a mile from those beautiful casinos, and you realize they don't give a fuck about the local economy.
No, it's all being sucked out.
It's like,
I don't know where that money's going.
It's another kind of tick, but it's a remote. It's like it doesn't even spread nearby.
No.
It's like a scientific taking money. It's like a tick that has a long distance sucker.
Yeah. They must have helicopters at night that literally lift it
the money
up into the sky.
To make sure it does not touch
the local economy.
Anybody
and
there.
The politicians, they obviously just look the other way.
Yeah.
It's like you're not even going to throw $1 into the economy?
No.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, who do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean? What are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say?
Who you saying is doing this?
What? You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
We're already in a weird spot with Donald Rumsfeld.
I bet he knows where that money goes.
You know what? I think Atlantic City's beautiful.
Every
inch of it is beautiful.
The Borgata.
No,
it's fantastic. Go see Louis.
Jobs. They got jobs.
They got jobs everywhere. For
Jobs. How many people they employ?
Jobs.
There weren't those jobs when it was before the casinos. I don't know.
There was just a really kind of a nice area.
Steel Pier. What the hell happened?
Where someone could actually open a store and try to have a business instead of a job. But now they got jobs. They get to wear a vest and deal cards to fucking assholes and Gaddafis.
Yeah, Gaddafi.
They get to fucking
great. Jobs.
You mean people used to open up their own family business down there?
Yeah,
like bakery or delicatessen.
Yeah, wherever the fucking wherever the Trump down there is. Does he have one down there?
Oh, he's got the Taj
Trump
and the Marina. I don't know how much.
Yeah, Trump Marina is sitting where some guy used to have an old fish restaurant. He had the restaurant from 1850 in his family, and now it's a fucking Trump Marina hotel.
It's right there on the water.
I worked that fucking place. Or is the Trump Castle it was called? I don't know where that is now.
I think they changed the name at some point.
I worked at Trump Castle, and I remember just watching people. I had never really been down there before, and I'm just watching these fucking old ladies from around the country come on buses. Like from the middle of Ohio or Kentucky, literally.
Yeah,
like you see a bus that says like Lexington, Kentucky. And they fuck. And these fucking old women come out of the bus, and they're like they took a medical hit from the trip. Like you just see them, and they get out of these fucking buses they were in for hours, days.
Yeah, blood just clotting in their legs.
Helping the 60-year-olds helping the 70-year-olds off the bus, and they go get shit rooms.
Yeah,
and then they pour buckets of fucking coins. All of their fucking retirement, all they got left, they just pour it in buckets into these machines, and then they leave. So I'm watching all this, and it all says Trump all over it. And then I was in an elevator, and Trump got on with Marla Maples at the time, and everyone was like, "Oh, there they are!" They were really excited. They saw them. Oh my God, there's Trump and the woman he's fucking illicitly. And they get on the elevator, and Trump looked miserable. I was in the elevator alone with him just by chance, and he just looked miserable. He looked so unhappy.
Yeah.
And all that money, I realized, is a weird, he has all this billions of dollars, but he's fucking miserable because he needs $100 billion to look in the mirror and not want to kill himself. He needs that. These old ladies from Kentucky, they don't need anything. They have like maybe $1,000 in the bank.
Right.
It's like they're coming. It's like a religion. Like they're coming to help him feel better. Like they're coming to give him money.
Giving him the money.
He's like, I have $100 billion and I don't fuck everybody. It's not enough. And these old ladies are like, I have maybe 1,000. You can have all of it.
I'll give you all of it.
I'll take a bus all day to give it to you.
We could have pumped it into our own economy where we live.
Yeah, I could have given it to my neighbor's store that closed last week.
But I figured I'd come all this way just to dump it into
Hopefully
this
make
machine.
you a little happier.
Yeah.
That's clever.
With the only buffer being this vague hope that I might leave
that I
with
may be
more,
one of the trillions.
But it ain't gonna happen. So we'll just pour money out.
I want to know more about the family fish business. The little restaurant
that
was
poor
there.
guy.
Forget that.
With his little boat. He would
Maybe a
just
little
go
bait
out
shop
every day.
Bait shop on the pier.
No, he
bait
used
shop.
to wipe off the table when you walked in, and he'd feel
nice,
real proud.
right?
Yeah.
Nice.
You'd smell like the ocean air. It was open windows in the summer.
What was his last day like, you think?
Wrecking ball.
A bunch of suits and
wrecking ball
ties.
with the whole family just outside crying.
Yeah. And now in that exact same spot, it's ring, ding, 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 ding.
Oh God, that's all you did. It was Donald Trump and a bunch of other guys in suits with golden shovels taking that photo of them breaking ground, and in back is the boarded up fish place just ready to be plowed asunder.
That was there for 150 years.
You know, and it's not the fault of some corporations or Donald Trump. It's like Walmart kills all small town economies. But it's not Walmart's fault. It's the fault of the fucking people. I used to have a house in upstate New York, and there was a town that had these beautiful old diners and general stores, and they all closed one by one because of Walmart. But it wasn't fucking Walmart's fault. It was the people that lived in that town that don't give a shit about their neighbors.
But is it giving a
It's
shit?
the American basic consumer who's like, well, okay, I could spend 13 cents less on a mop.
Yeah.
So fuck my fucking neighbor. Fuck my neighbor who's had that store in his family for, who's taken care. There's like a million George Bailey moments in that town's history where the whole, I'll give a check to your, baseball teams with names, John's General Store.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the whole community coming together to do stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I want to buy a Jim Carrey movie 3-pack for $7. So fuck the old movie theater with a Wurlitzer organ.
But think of Blockbuster Video. Now that caused a big thing because it pretty much closed down all the little mom and pop video stores.
Which was a great family business.
Which was a family business and shit like that. I remember those things and having to go in and you'd have to buy a membership fee when you first get in when it was like $100.
And that was just to try to keep the stores
to keep the store open. But then Blockbuster came around. Now what do you want to do? Go into the mom and pop and wait a week for the latest release?
Yeah, why don't you? Why don't you fucking wait a little bit?
I want it now.
So fuck the family that opened that store.
Yeah.
And by the way, fuck them that they used to think about what movies you might like. That you might walk in and they go, Anthony, you like comedies.
Anthony, we got a whole section for you.
Do you even know
Remember
who
that conversation
Francois
we had?
Tati is? And they'd show you something that we went and found this. Blockbuster would never do that for you. Fuck them.
I agree with both of you, but
so that you can
the local,
save a little bit of fucking money.
The local place that Ann's talking about, you had to wait for some asshole to bring back the nice new movie.
It's out. You'd be like, it's out. It's like, what?
When is it coming back? I want to watch that fucking thing.
Again,
and then Blockbuster said,
the
fuck
ability.
That. The Blockbuster said, look, we could just put 100 copies on the shelf.
So you're thinking the whole loyalty thing should outweigh the convenience?
Absolutely, because you're supporting somebody who is, there's a human being and a family who's living off that business, and they give a shit about you.
But
by the way, where's Blockbuster? It's fucking gone. So they leave a vacuum. You can't rent a fucking video anymore.
Yeah, but why would you? Digital delivery.
If there was video stores, you know why? It's like bookstores. A bookstore is not just a place where you can buy books. It's a place where somebody expresses themselves by deciding what books to put out there and what books they want to offer their community.
Right.
And that gets replaced by Barnes & Nobles, which means you get the same fucking books that every place in the world gets. I mean, not just America.
Right.
Every bookstore has exactly the same books now. I mean,
Yeah.
that's people don't realize what a massive. It used to be. You go to that bookstore, you're going to get some weird off-color
something
books of
different.
this kind, or you're going to get maybe a right-wing bookstore, a left-wing bookstore. That used to be how people fucking. And then so Barnes Nobles comes, and the difference is a family business will hang on through the tough years if they have half a chance.
Yeah.
But a corporate business will go, oh, we're not making it $10 trillion, just pull up stakes. And they're gone. So now there's no more fucking bookstores.
That's fucking amazing.
Or video stores. Yeah.
No bookstores, no video stores.
Right. The big Barnes Noble on the Upper West.
But
Yeah, because those are predatory businesses.
Given
And if-
your thinking, though, wouldn't we never progress? Like, wouldn't
Who's progressing? That's the
well?
that's
I mean,
not progression.
with everything. Like, wouldn't we not look at the automotive business, which
Yeah.
is horrible now, of course, because of the outsourcing and everything. But early on, there were guys working those lines. What about the technology to come in and use robots that did eliminate jobs, but it makes the car better and faster and
yeah, but that's exactly the thing. These things like bookstores and video stores, though, they weren't improved. They were destroyed. And a book is not a car. It's not a product that needs to be perfected like a technology. It's about having a way of life.
But now you just download it on Kindle.
Yeah.
Like
no,
it's-
exactly. But it's rubbed out getting out of your house and going to a bookstore and meeting the bookstore guy and other people. You used to get fucking laid by going to bookstores. A way that people used to get laid is by going to a bookstore and standing in a section that makes you look smart. And then a chick comes around.
Yeah.
Oh, do you also like this
really?
book?
Oh,
Sure.
I'm perusing this.
Yeah, you can't do that
there?
anymore. When I grew up in Boston, and there was a
Wow.
place in Harvard Square called the Coffee Connection, and this was a place that was obsessed with coffee, and they had coffees from all around the world, and they'd have stuff like you'd get like a cappuccino, and they'd shave chocolate onto it, not like a canister of chocolate powder.
It took time. I mean, it's like,
They had a
yeah.
cheese grater
Yeah.
and a block of chocolate, and they'd shred chocolate onto the fucking thing for you. That's like how good it was.
You sound like my grandfather.
No, if
my
you-
grandfather talking to me. You don't even understand
No,
the
you have
old
no idea.
days.
And
I know
if
the
you
point
were
he's about to
hungover,
make,
you'd go to
man.
the fucking Coffee Connection and you'd sit there like trembling, and they'd bring you this thing that would just change your life. Or they'd go, "Hey, you want to try Turkish? We have a new Turkish coffee today. It's a weird
that
thing.
sounds good.
Never tried it." So then Starbucks opens down the street, but this Coffee Connection hangs on. So Starbucks opens another one, like on the other side of them. Starbucks isn't doing so great that they can open another one. They're just trying to fucking kill.
Oh shit!
So they open like 5 within a block of the place until Coffee Connection goes, "This is getting hard." And they sell themselves. They go, "Let's just be a Starbucks."
Yeah.
So then Starbucks buys them and then closes the other ones, and then you're just left with fucking just one choice. You get Starbucks.
And the quality of Starbucks is horrible.
It's
now.
okay. And the
It
instant
was all
Starbucks
right
isn't
when they
making
first-
a profit, they'll
Yeah.
give up, and then there won't be a fucking place to even get coffee. In
Right, then we go
Harvard.
back to having no coffee again.
coffee.
He's right.
So
I remember
wow,
I remember the lumber stores. I remember we did a lot of renovation on our old house because we had 7 kids, small house, so we were constantly adding rooms and this and that.
Mom and pop lumber shop.
Mom and pop.
Yeah,
I would get in the car with my dad. I remember like it was yesterday. We go to the local lumber guy. He knew my dad's first name. We got this for you. We made your pile. It's
Putting
all
a dormer
set.
on the house, are you?
And-
yeah. Well, you're
But I
gonna
know-
need some of that. No, I'll come over here. I'll help you out. You need that for the joists.
But there was it was a social thing too, man. How are the
Yes.
kids
Lumber
and how are
stores
your
were
kids?
very
and blah-
social.
right?
Yeah.
And then the Home Depot. It's a fucking massive warehouse, and no one wants to fucking help
inhumane.
you.
You're
And
just
there's-
mad
and there's
right when you
sad
walk in.
people working there.
Right. Yeah.
The buying of the lumber is not a happy exchange. It used to be that you could say to yourself, you know what, if I invest in a good saw and I get some trucks, I could go out and get some fucking poplar and cut it well, and people will come here and build fucking houses with it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you go and you go, hey, you got some nice poplar, not as good as Joe Wilson's. Yeah, well, mine is down
Right.
3 cents.
Right.
Well, I'll buy yours then. This was. And
So
by the way,
Pa
we
Ingalls.
don't improve through this shit.
No.
We actually don't. It's like it's what happens is the second place product always wins by being more vicious.
to
Yeah,
take
like
over the-
Microsoft versus Apple.
Right.
Microsoft is bullshit software. It's hard compared to Apple.
I know, believe me.
It's horrible, but Bill Gates is a capitalist, and he was vicious, and he fought Apple, and so for some years anyway.
Yeah.
America lived on shitty computer technology because of his
There was a point where
ambition.
we all thought Apple was gone.
Yeah, it's
It was
VHS
dead.
versus Beta. Beta
Yeah.
is still used today.
Yeah.
Beta videotape is still what most TV shows are shot on.
Yeah.
And we all watched VHS tapes because the VHS people said, we make the second best, so we're going to be cutthroat and fucked up and pay off people and go to litigation and like sue Beta. And Beta's like, we're making the best kind. We can't even get people to buy it.
Yeah.
And so everyone gets VHS.
Unbelievable.
It's Tesla and fucking Edison. It's
Edison
always
and Tesla, yeah.
One guy's a genius and is selling a beautiful thing. The second place guy copies it, doesn't do it as well,
and then
takes him to
fucks the
court
guy
in every
over.
fucking state in America and muscles him and fights him and
Ruins
outdraws
his
him.
credibility.
Gets some fucking Texan to pay for it. And then we all have to buy the shitty product.
You're fucking brilliant.
It's true.
So
It's
that-
the same with cars. They would be better if what you're saying was actually true.
If it was like the guys still on the assembly line.
yeah.
But your coffee story is deeply depressing.
It is. What happens
It was-
everywhere.
I was thinking, as you were talking about that, like the Starbucks popping up are like weeds.
Yes.
Taking out the really nice fucking crop.
Yeah, that's what they do.
They're
And
just,
they're only
they're just
interested
putting
in the-
weeds all over the place
That's right.
to destroy it.
That's right. And they don't even make money. Like Harvard Square is a good example.
I love Harvard Square. It's been a while, but
you
love
won't
that
love
place.
it next time you go.
It's been years.
It's there used to be a place called the Tasty and like the Verst House. All these places that have been there from the 1900s. It's a Sunglass Hut and an Abercrombie and Fitch now.
Jesus.
And I was talking to one of the local business guys who owns a cigar store. He's like the last guy left.
Look at you.
No, I'm
talking
this
to
shit
the
fascinates
local
me.
businessman.
And I asked him, "Are you going to go under too?" And he said, you know what? Because he went to Harvard Business School and then he opened his little cigar
business.
store.
Oh God.
He said Abercrombie and Fitch and Harvard Square doesn't even make a profit. They lose money every day. They're not that store. The rent is so high for what they built there that they can't. If they could sell jeans all day, they're not going to make a profit. They're not there to make a profit. It's just a billboard. It's a 3D billboard. It's there so that you'll buy Abercrombie online and to keep it visible
in your mind, in your head. Yeah,
that's fascinating.
There's like the Nike store on 50th or what. All those stores, they don't make a fucking dime. They lose money every day.
It's worth having a giant
global
billboard. It's like a billboard.
Yeah.
That you walk into.
That's how far away this is from like
mom and
guy
pop
has
guy.
an idea,
Right.
puts it out there.
I love this
Folks love it, and they start buying it. It's not even.
Wow.
We're not even close to that anymore.
No, like I'm nostalgic for the guy who started Wendy's. Like that's now like a great American. He's like a
A
revolutionary.
great American story,
Yeah.
or Ray Kroc from McDonald's.
Yeah, he's
having
like
the
Che
little-
Guevara, or whatever his name is. Like he's like, what a great man.
They're sort of making a comeback, but remember just the local burger joint was cool.
Are they making a comeback?
A little bit. You see more burger joints popping up. Maybe they were part of a whole corporate thing, but they.
Well, like in New
they're-
York, there's Five Guy Burgers here.
Right. But when we were growing up, every town had its local burger guy, and they bragged about their burger, and it was better than the guy's burger from the next town over, and then you watch those slowly. The one in Huntington, the Choo Choo hamburger
right,
place,
right.
and their thing was, well, we'll bring your burger on a nice fucking train right in front of you.
Right.
It's
Oh,
a
here
little
comes my
electric
order. You
train.
see it fucking rock in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And it comes around and stops at your,
Yeah.
your counter spot.
Well, that's what
And
it
that
used to be
thing-
like when things were more spread out. That everyone had to have their own idea of here's
Right.
why,
Well,
here's why you
gimmick.
want to come here.
And then I think
Yeah.
Instead of like, if you come here, it doesn't matter because we're across the street too.
Right.
Fuck you, just eat this shit. You think it's going to get better once these big companies take over? The product goes down.
What do
because
you
they don't
think
have
about
to compete anymore?
like online purchasing? Then you must do a lot of that, though.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
No, I think that's probably the next version of it is that you can throw together a little product and sell it online
And just be the mom
'Cause
and
you don't-
pop online
Yeah, 'cause
thing.
you don't need a store anymore.
And then someone will figure out how to fuck that over.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you can't
They'll
because
push
it's
you out.
not real estate. You can't take over. You can't push somebody off the internet.
Yeah.
They'll always be there.
That's true, but you can
No,
be
they'll-
the better online.
Yeah, they'll make
or
you-
the bigger and
They'll make you have the website with .org.
Yeah.
they'll give you
Just
a
make it
dot
harder to
something that
find,
no one
right.
does. But if you're
Right.
like a mom and
Dark.
pop thing and you're selling, let's say, electronics, or so, you'd be like, oh, great, they don't have that. let me go to Best Buy's website.
No, that's absolutely true. That's hard to sell.
Yeah.
Just to add to the discussion, I used to be a big music store guy, and every music store was a little different. And this guy, if you got to know him, he's like, I got some fucking bootlegs you might want to see.
That's right.
And it's completely illegal, and we know it, but I've seen you in this place enough times that I know you're not a rat, so why don't you follow me?
Well, that's
Remember
exactly
that shit?
it. Guys like Iggy Pop. Iggy Pop becoming popular was a good thing, I think, for America. It's a good thing for the American voice that guys like that would. But the reason he came up was because certain record stores would go, I'm fucking digging Iggy Pop, and I'm going to sort of take a gamble that my customers will like him.
Right.
So they'd order, like, give me 10 Iggy Pop, 12 inches, and they'd put them out there.
Right.
And the kid with the leather jacket, who the fuck is this guy?
Right.
I try him out, kid. You, all right, old man, fuck you, And he'd try Iggy Pop, and he'd go, holy motherfucking shit. And all of a sudden, Iggy Pop is flying off the shelves.
When I was growing
up. But
up,
now, if you're not on fucking iTunes, like the whole country has to make one decision of who we like. There's no sort of local guy.
God, that's
a massive difference in how the culture grows.
I just loved when I was growing up. I would go to the Village and all those underground record stores. I would spend all afternoon there, and every place had something a little different.
So what does this
and
do?
bootleg like concert shirts and
like what's the bottom line of what this does to society?
No one even has. Even young people don't even consider the idea that it's a good idea to be out in the fringe, which is where good ideas come from.
Yeah,
like people are almost like begging the government to take over and the corporations to take over your life. Like, people are excited that when you take a picture of yourself on your phone and put it online, it says where the fuck you were. Why are people excited about that?
Yeah, what is that?
Like, I remember when Easy Pass first happened. Yeah. Everyone was like, I don't want everybody knowing when I went to the Lincoln Tunnel. Like, what are you, fucking carrying secret documents? Who the fuck gives a shit about you?
Right.
But people used to think that way.
Right.
Cameras in Central Park for crime? Yeah, but what about my privacy? But now people are like, guess what? If I take a picture and send it to somebody, the whole world knows exactly where I was.
Where I was at that given moment.
And I can store all of everything I have on a computer in North Carolina. And I don't even have to... And they get to have all my stuff. And Facebook knows who all my friends are and what I've said to all of them. Every single fucking conversation I've ever had is a public record in the fucking Library of Congress. Yay! Cool.
That is fucked up.
Isn't that cool?
And we worried about Easy Pass a mere 3 years
no,
ago.
People are excited.
3 years ago, right.
It's everything you tell somebody, I think I might be pregnant. It's in the Library of Congress now.
It's forever.
Cool. And there's a fucking geotag on it saying where you were standing when you fucking said it. A fucking coordinate.
Yeah.
A global coordinate.
Of
where you were standing
and longitude.
Why do people? Why would
when
want
you said that?
But we didn't want to
took a picture.
But we didn't want to use Easy Pass 3 years ago.
Yeah,
that is really fucked
sick.
up. It is really fucked up.
You have to belong to a fucking club to listen to a song. You have to have a credit card to listen to a song. You can't go buy a record and play it. You have to. If you fucking lose your credibility and your iTunes account gets suspended, you can't play any of your music on anything.
You're done.
You can't listen now where it's on satellite radio. You have to subscribe to listen to the radio. Like, the only way to listen to music without being a credible American citizen with a credit card and belonging to a corporation, the only way you can fucking whistle. That's about the only way.
That's how you're going to hear the song.
That's the only
whistling to yourself.
The only time you can, unless you want to join some.
Yeah, because there are a lot of the music stores don't even carry fucking. There's no music stores.
There's no music stores. You got to go to Best Buy,
and they got their CD section, which is dying out. It's being pushed.
Yeah, and
it's
just a reflection of what's on iTunes.
Yeah,
and what's
you don't
on,
Amazon.
Nothing. You don't have a guy taking care of that section, so it's all just kind of willy nilly.
You're not finding something new and eclectic.
No,
the problem
the
problem is what Louis is getting at is with corporate America. Only a few of the people in corporate America actually make the money. Then everyone else is just slaves to that fucking corporation.
And they're not even American. I mean, it's all offshore. All the companies are unaccountable and they're offshore. And most of them are foreign owned anyway.
Go with the Tower Records. Each Tower Records probably was easily 10 mom and pop record stores.
Yep.
And those guys were actually making a real living. And now, like you said about Atlantic City, Tower Records moves in, and now you used to make a living. Now you're just working for that schmuck.
Yep. And then
Making a
Tower
lot
Records
less.
is gone.
Tower's
so they
gone.
leave a vacuum. It's not
Right.
even this idea that everybody's like, yeah, but come on, but this is good for what?
The convenience is nice.
It's like a locust.
Benefiting.
They just
Yes.
come in,
Right.
eat it all, and then they're gone, and
Right.
nothing's left.
And
Yeah,
Starbucks-
I know, but still, it's if we didn't do that,
Progress.
you wouldn't have the thing that
Wouldn't have the polio vaccine.
the cars run worse than they did in the 70s.
And I could go
You
back.
need a computer to fix one.
Yeah, you can't work on your car.
No.
That's true too. You cannot pop the hood on your fucking car
No.
and work on it.
Fool around
I
a little bit.
remember
Yeah.
if your car stalled, you would ease over to the shoulder and you
Tinker.
lift the hood.
Yeah,
and
tinker.
you
Fuck
look.
around with it.
And
Exactly
you'd be like, all right, I know enough about the distributor. I think this
Yeah.
is something. I think maybe.
See if that's tight.
Yeah, I think
Jiggle
that's
this a little
my
bit.
points. My
I'm gonna
points
jiggle
are
this
touching.
cord, right.
Yes.
I'm gonna gap it with a matchbook cover.
could
That'll get me
actually
home.
do that.
That'll get me home. It'll run a little fucked up, but that'll get me home. Yeah, you
If
could
you knew
do
where the
that.
fuel pump was, you could jiggle it a little bit.
Yeah,
You could
give it a little
throttle.
knock.
Now-
If you cart it and start this, you hit the starter a little bit, and then brrr,
I had a
start up.
68 Mustang, and I used to fix it. I worked in a garage when I was younger, and I used to fix it. So I like the fuel pump would go like the fuel pump that was in there since 1968 died in like 1993. And then I put in a new fuel pump. And that fuel pump died in 1995. And I went through 3 fuel pumps on that car. Same, every part of it. The
shit.
starter that this car was that was put in by some fucking heavy Michigan hands in 1968. When I was 1 year old, some fucking guy with a cigarette dangling put that starter in.
Yeah.
And then went to a very beautiful home in Flint, Michigan, which is now
yes.
a fucking crack house. He's been dead for years.
His white picket fence. His
Yes.
wife was waiting for him to come home.
And then finally, that starter that he fucking personally tightened every part of finally just went, I can't do it anymore, and died in 1994.
Yeah.
And then I took it out, and it was heavy, and it was beautiful. It was like a piece of art.
Yeah.
And then I put it in with this. I put in this thing I got at a parts store, and I asked them. I said, "Give me the best starter that available." And they gave me this starter, and the metal it was made out of is some weird composite. You could see like Coke can pieces in it. And I put it in weigh anything, and I stuck it in, and it lasted like 6 months.
Yeah.
And it just came apart.
When you used to
That's
drop
progress.
the starter motor, it was like when you pulled those bolts out.
Yeah.
It was heavy.
Yep.
And then the new one, you hold it up with one arm as
Yeah.
you're threading the fucking bolt.
Look at
Not
the
that you're right.
Look at the picture Danny just found. You can't work on that engine. You can't
That's
work
what you
on
see
that
now.
engine. Right.
Yeah.
Just a big block with a logo on it.
Right.
That's it.
That's a Cadillac.
It looks
Powered
like it,
by Cadillac.
It looks like it just all melted together. You can't get at it.
It's
No,
all
you
just
can't.
cowling that they put on so you dare not even look
No.
and see what's under there. You can't work on it because it's all computerized.
Now, if your car
You
breaks
got to hook
down,
a computer up to it in a
Yeah.
corporate place.
if it breaks down, you're lucky enough to get out of your own car.
yeah. Might not
Exactly.
even
Won't
get
let
out
you
of
out.
it.
Right. You'd be lucky if you could at least leave the car.
Yeah.
Holy
I keep
shit.
going back to the coffee thing because I was a big coffee guy as well.
Yeah.
And when Starbucks did hit, it made it convenient that there were more nice coffee places around because you really had to search them out like you're talking about.
Right.
And I didn't live anywhere near Harvard Square, so a Starbucks was like nice instead of shitty diner coffee.
Right.
But then Starbucks didn't care about their product in the end. At
No.
first, the coffee was amazing.
Yeah, it's
but
'cause
you've
they
watched
had
it
to
drop
compete.
over the years.
Yeah, they had to.
They had to compete.
Now you know the beans they're getting have to be just shitty.
Of course they are.
They have to be. It's
They're
just-
not going
there's
to
just
work
too many
hard for your money.
Why would they?
They've got
I
it.
explain
At
this
first,
shit
they
to my-
needed your money, so they worked hard for it.
Exactly. I explain this shit to my kids all the time because we'll go off the beaten path. We'll go 3 blocks over and spend 40 more cents. That what are we doing with this precious money? That people are like, well, I'm saving so that I can buy some fucking video game, have a video game experience for 10 seconds that evaporates from my existence later. What are we saving the money for? But we go a few blocks over, spend a few more cents to go to like a butcher.
Yeah.
Instead of going to,
that
Price Chopper, we go to a fucking New York City butcher.
Yeah.
Where the guy's got a red face. How you doing, my man? And,
Fucking blood all over his fucking little
yeah.
apron that he's wearing.
Gets his steaks from a fucking place where there's like a direct line from the cow to the
slaughterhouse,
steak.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, instead of this fucking ShopRite, probably some human parts in the steak thing.
I was going to somebody go, oh, you want to get something for lunch? Let's go to like Subway or something. I'm like, why would you not just go to a deli and get a real sandwich made on a hero roll that was in a bakery that morning, and the driver took it over to
a place where they're not going to measure the meat.
And it's a guy all pre-cut,
where the local guy goes, "Oh, Anthony, you've been a good customer. Here's a few extra slices." The Subway, they actually weigh their meat and their tomatoes to make sure it's the proper weight.
I was in a Subway once somewhere in Arizona. And I was driving across the country, and I stopped. And it was a Subway inside of a fucking Sunoco station. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
and
boy.
there was the fucking kid working there. Was this depressed-looking kid that he cut his own hair like there was chunks. Cut his own hair. Skinny fucking just depressed-looking, pale American. And the kid he's serving is this exact same person.
Oh, shit.
Like he just different colored version. You know, like in Star Wars, there was R2-D2, but then there'd be like a red version of it.
Yes,
like
the red R2-D2.
Yeah. They're just kind of basic. And one guy, and he's going, "What kind of sauce do you want on?" And he's like, and like, I guess I'll go ahead and get the green one. And he's making it for him. And I wanted him to say, "Should I just eat it too? Does it even make a difference which one of us eats it?" Like everyone's just on one side of the counter or the other. There's no identity to any American. Nothing. The only identity you have is what your sauce choice is.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing you get now is like, well, I particularly like.
You do make this grim kind of image of I don't see this going to a good place.
No, it's not, man.
No, it's not. Man. No, it's not.
The only good thing that could happen is that it all falls.
That it just all collapses.
It all dies, and everyone has to look around them and go, "What could I piece together and sell?"
Maybe recycle
for my friends.
A little bit, maybe
post-apocalyptic lifestyle
would be terrific.
Yeah,
we got a timing issue, so we're going to take a break because we got Rummy calling right at 8:30.
Oh boy,
what happened?
Just Rummy.
Donald Rumsfeld.
Can't wait.
His new book, Known and Unknown, a memoir. So
you think we'll know some of the unknown?
I ain't
Do you think he's going to fess with the unknown?
I'm going to go ahead and tell those Opie and Anthony fellas stuff that I never told anyone.
There's the show I'm going to break all the news on.
More with Louis C.K.
Now's a good time as any to tell them that Gerald Ford is still alive. Why not? Why not these guys?
Why don't we ask him that weird shit then? See what he says.
About Roswell.
Louis killing this morning, and Louis C.K. is going to be at the Borgata April 23rd. For tickets, go to Borgata.com. BORGART. No, that's not it.
What?
They misspelled the website, right?
That's awesome.
Borgata.
There's no R in the end of Borgata, right?
Borgata.
Google it.
No, it's BORGATA.com for tickets for Louis C.K.
If you have a computer to go online, right?
Right.
Just Google the fucking thing.
Borgata.
Like I never
Does
understand.
anybody need to know the website?
Spell it like really kind of anything you can't spell.
Even
just throw it in.
The browsers finally, you just put it in the URL.
Right.
Someone figured out these fucking people don't get it.
They said, "Hey, dummy, this is how it's really spelled."
Just write it with your finger on the screen. And
right, we'll figure it out.
I don't even use like dictionary.com or like Merriam-Webster. I'll just go to Google, type in the word that I know I'm misspelling, and it says, "Did you mean the correct spelling?"
Now you know the correct.
Now I know.
Yeah.
And you don't even need to know it. You can continue spelling it wrong after that.
You used to have to go to a library and speak to the librarian about that.
That's right.
And she would direct you to a book. That's right.
Libraries used to be kind of cool, too. Man.
Libraries.
In New York, it's very different. It's just that's where homeless people shit now. Library.
Oh, speaking of which, we got the bench story.
Oh, yes.
Right. With the drugs and the sex.
One last thing. Encyclopedias. The house that had the encyclopedias, but then they would become dated so quickly that a few short years later, borders move and people take over power, and you just read these encyclopedias. But that was like your internet.
That
was the only information you were able to get at the drop of a hat was in your encyclopedias in your house. You used to sit there and toil if you didn't know something and couldn't find it out in your house through some kind of book or newspaper.
By the way,
you didn't know it.
Where this stuff is good is things like the internet, because if you lived in, Oshkosh, Michigan or someplace, you weren't going to get a cool book. You weren't going to get Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, and you weren't going to get an Iggy Pop album.
Right.
You were going to get a Pat Boone album and whatever, and Encyclopedia Britannica. That's it. You had to live on that.
Yeah.
But
now.
hey, you throw on a leather jacket and leave town. You fucking, what's your problem?
Yeah, get off the farm.
Stay in your house?
Get off the farm.
Louis, just great social commentary today. Holy shit. You opened my eyes to a bunch of shit. Quick break. Donald Rumsfeld next. Stay there.
Sirius XM. The virus. This is the Opie and Anthony Show. Opie and Anthony Show.
We got to go right to the phone.
Oh, my God. Turn that music down.
And welcome Donald Rumsfeld to the Opie and Anthony Show.
Sir? Hello, sir?
Yes, indeed. How are you?
Very good. Very good. What a pleasure to talk to you. Donald Rumsfeld's new book, Known and Unknown, a memoir. I've been looking through this. Fascinating stuff because you have been a part of history in this country for many years, known many presidents. Welcome to the show, Mr. Rumsfeld.
Well, thank you. It's a little embarrassing to discover that I've lived 1/3 of the history of our country.
1/3 the history, and been involved in a lot of things that have gone on through history. Very
Indeed.
important.
I want to mention that all the proceeds that I received from the book are going to go to the troops and their families.
Oh, that's nice. I thought what you were going to
That is
mention was you know exactly where we live, and to be nice.
Oh, Opie. It's not. Where are you right now? Are you just at home?
No, I'm in New York City.
Oh, okay.
Last night I was on the Jon Stewart show.
Right. There was a. How did that go? Because John is a little liberal, I would say.
Well, he comes at things from that direction, but he is very smart, very quick.
Yeah.
And it was a good discussion. I was pleased to be there.
Yeah.
Have you ever been interviewed where you got upset with how it went and then actually did anything to exact revenge on the person?
Never.
Why would he do that, Louis?
I don't know.
That's Louis C.K.
Because you know, if you're a man of power, it's got to be an interesting thought at least.
No. What you do is you think to yourself, what might I have done differently? You've got to expect people to come at you because in our wonderful country, everyone can have their own opinion, and goodness knows they can have intense opinions. But I find that if they have intense opinions that are opposite to mine, there's an awful lot of people who have intense opinions that are very much like mine.
Now, you have been in front of a lot of the press over the years, and you've learned how to kind of deflect certain questions and handle the press. So I guess interviews are pretty easy for you?
Well, I enjoy it. I think it's important that people, put their views out there so that we have a competition of ideas and the American people can sift through it and make their own judgments.
Yeah, absolutely. When did you first get inside? And by inside, I mean, the kind of inner circle of power in the government, especially during the Cold War. When did you just go from a military guy into becoming kind of an enigma, kind of a person of power and on the inside? How did that happen?
Well, I don't have any idea. I was a Navy pilot. I knocked on doors, got a job working for a congressman in Washington. I never met a congressman. And then I ran for Congress and served during the Kennedy and Johnson era. And then I was in Nixon's cabinet and Ford's cabinet and worked for Reagan as special envoy to the Middle East, and then George W. Bush's cabinet. It just kind of all happened over the decades, and suddenly I'm 78 years old.
But so haven't you, how does it feel to have, you've probably accumulated a lot of things that you know that you'll never tell anybody on the planet Earth, right?
Well, not really. I'm interested in history. I love to read biographies, which is one of the reasons I took 4 years and wrote the book and tried to discuss what it was like being inside and how the decisions are made and how complicated they are when they reach the senior levels of government. I also created a website, rumsfeld.com, where we've put hundreds of documents, thousands of pages from throughout my life so that people can read them and check things in the book. For example, if I quote a paragraph off a memo in the book, you can go to the website and read the whole memo.
Oh, okay.
But you must have lived moments where you were like, holy cow, no one but me and these two people are ever going to know this happened. And it had a massive impact on history.
Well, there certainly are times like that, but over time, almost everything comes out. And there are moments when what's going on inside the White House is very sensitive and very private. But within any reasonable period of time, the much of what goes on becomes public, and the American people look at it.
Yeah. Do you look at how do you see your legacy based on your career with George W. Bush? Do you see yourself as a fall guy? Do you see yourself as somebody looked upon as evil? And do you think it affects what you've done before that? Because I see you as a very patriotic guy that served his country well and still does. But some people, based especially on your experience with George W. Bush, see you as an evil guy. How do you accept that?
Well, I know who I am. I know what I've done, and one of the reasons I've wrote the book was to try to get out there what the arguments pro and con were, so people can look at them. And I've taken on tough jobs. I've had to make tough decisions, and when you do that, you can expect people are going to disagree strongly. It doesn't come as a great surprise to me, I suppose, having lived so many decades.
Yeah, were you disappointed, though, with the way your career ended with George W. Bush's administration?
No, I think he made the right decision, and I made the right decision. I think once one of the houses of Congress went to the other party, the next 2 years would have been hearings, and, people would have tried to go after the Bush administration through me, and I decided it would be better for the military, better for the Pentagon, better for the president and the administration if I left, and the president and I were very much in agreement.
But doesn't that kind of leave you hanging out to dry, is what I'm saying, and looking bad, like you did something very wrong?
No, I don't feel that way, and I don't think history will suggest that, and I don't think that serious people interested in what went on, who go to the website and read the book carefully, will feel that way. I think these are complicated issues, and we took on tough jobs. We spent every waking moment trying to protect the American people, and we put in place some structures that, lo and behold, almost a decade later, there's not been another successful attack on America. Now, that's worth something, and I think...
I agree with you. And the book, Known and Unknown, a memoir by Donald Rumsfeld, it's out there. And does this kind of open up who you are as a person? Because I don't think people really know you as a person. They see you and have seen you at press conferences and whatnot, and kind of see you as, a very mysterious guy, and that kind of scares people.
Well, I don't feel mysterious. I think what you see is what you get, and I think that the book, it does open up my life, my family life, my circumstance, where I came from a small town in Illinois, went to college on a scholarship, and was a wrestler, and a person who loves the country, and is so grateful to have had so many opportunities to serve.
It's interesting, though, because there are people who think, here's a guy who met Eisenhower as a congressman, right?
I was running for Congress, exactly.
And worked for Ford and Nixon and Reagan and both Bushes. And there's still those people out there that think, Rumsfeld and Dick Cheney are actually lizards. Who, literally, there's people that think they're lizards from outer space.
Yeah, that's true.
Who eat human flesh. I don't know if anybody's ever asked you directly, sir, but are you a lizard?
I don't think
are
he's
you
a lizard.
actually? Can you just please give that a straight answer? Are you a lizard person?
Louis a little left-leaning,
No,
sir.
I'm not. Let him answer. Are you a lizard?
Here's the short answer. Yeah. I'm in New York City. I walk down the street, people walk up, shake hands, stop me, they want an autograph. He's a lizard. Want to get a photograph with me. Go to eat last night at dinner, and Joyce and I were sitting there in the little Italian restaurant, and a man came up and said he'd like to buy my dinner, and I refused. And it turns out I paid for my dinner. The next thing I know, the waiter comes back and said the man insisted to pay for your dinner, and here's your canceled receipt for paying.
Oh, wow, that's very nice.
There's plenty of people that...
you didn't answer the question.
He's not going to dignify...
I think you're hanging around with the wrong people.
He's not going to dignify an answer to, are you a lizard, Louis?
Why not?
Because he's not a lizard.
What is the story about getting somebody paid for your dinner? I would pay for a lizard's dinner.
I think I understood the fact that there are people out out there that appreciate what he's done
No,
as
totally.
a leader. And
there's plenty of evidence that this guy is a well-decorated and appreciated American. And he has more credibility than almost anybody.
Exactly.
But I just want to know if he's a lizard.
He's not a lizard. Stop it. I want to apologize, Mr. Rumsfeld. Louis C.K. is a stand-up comedian, and I do not share his ideology one iota.
Matter of fact, we're meeting him for the first time. We don't even really know him. So we apologize.
Exactly.
It's usually just me and Anthony. But we said, what the hell, we'll try out this local comedy.
Mr. Rumsfeld, I want to ask you a little bit about the situation that's going on now in the Middle East. You were an envoy to the Middle East. What do you see happening there? What's your take on the whole situation?
Well, I think what's happening is that we had good relations with many of the governments in there, in that region, and it was contributing to a stable situation with respect to the generally hostile attitude towards Israel, because an important country like Egypt had a peace treaty with Israel, and that was a valuable thing that Sadat did and Mubarak stuck with. The problem is that those countries did not move towards freer political systems and freer economic systems as rapidly as they should have, and the people are looking for opportunities. Very large populations that are young, and they don't have jobs, and they don't see opportunities, and they look around the world on television or Facebook or something, and they see other countries where people are doing well, and they become dissatisfied. So you have these kinds of turmoil and popular revolutions. Now, the problem is that, take Lebanon, for example, there was a popular revolution.
Yeah, the Hamas wound up.
Hezbollah ended up taking over, and that's a terrorist organization and repressive.
Right.
The same thing in Iran.
Now, isn't that a worry? Like, especially when you have a revolution, as they did in Egypt, not a revolution, but protest, whatever you want to call it. The guy's gone without having another guy to put in there. Isn't there a worry as America as to who's going to be there and what kind of government's going to be in place?
Absolutely. Everyone ought to be concerned, not just our country, but Europe and Israel and the neighboring countries. If the problem is that you can have a popular protest and revolution, and the winner is not the people that are looking for greater opportunity. The winner often is a minority group that is very disciplined, very well organized, and very vicious, like Hezbollah in Lebanon, and or like the Ayatollahs in Iran.
Yeah.
So you could get the Muslim Brotherhood.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Radical extremists.
Exactly.
Over Egypt, which would be terribly dangerous.
Absolutely.
Listen, and these are great questions, Anthony, and they're questions that Mr. Rumsfeld is going to answer better than almost anybody in the world.
Yeah.
But I still want to know if he's a lizard.
And if he is, stop it.
If he's tasted human flesh.
No, stop.
I just want to know.
Mr. Rumsfeld, again, I want to apologize for Louis C.K. He's a stand-up comedian. He's playing at the Borgata.
It's
go to
a legitimate. Look, if he's a lizard who has eaten people,
don't encourage him. It'll just make him worse.
See, I will stop the second I get a denial. I'll stop asking.
Tell Louis that my grandchildren are listening.
See?
Well, listen, they have a right to know, too.
No, he's not a lizard, and he's not tasted human flesh.
But you're answering. That's easy for you to say.
I can answer because I know the guy is a great American, a great patriot.
Yes, I totally agree with that.
He's done great things for this country. And
yes, Anthony. Is he a lizard? Is Dick Cheney a lizard?
No, they're not. They are people.
Any Mexican babies? Have they eaten any human beings?
Stop it. Stop it. I know. Mr. Rumsfeld, I apologize. Louis C.K.
I paid for this microphone, mister. I want to answer.
Funny. I don't understand it. Where do you see the where do you see the 2012 elections going? Do you see the Republicans taking the White House again? And who do you see as maybe a good front runner for the Republicans?
I don't think there is one. I think it's one of those rare times when there's not an incumbent president running and there's not a vice president running and there's not an obvious person. And I think what we ought to do is watch them run around the track a while and see how they handle things. It's a tough job, as President Obama is finding out. It's a lot easier to campaign than
exactly.
And so I think we ought to watch all these candidates. There's some terrific ones running, and I think some of them have executive experience. Some of them have a lot of legislative experience. And see how they handle. Because what's going to happen is they're going to get asked tough questions, Mm-hmm. They're going to get put in difficult positions, and we're going to then be able to see how their brains work, how they react, how they handle things, what kind of people they recruit for their campaign team, how effective they are in organizing. And all of those are attributes that are helpful for a president.
Before the Lizard Council meets and decides who to appoint.
The Lizard Council doesn't appoint a president, and he's not part of the Lizard Council.
If they do, don't you want to know?
No.
Don't you at least want to give him a chance to say, no, I'm not a lizard?
I don't want to picture Donald Rumsfeld on the other end of this phone listening to you asking
with red lizard
questions.
eyes.
No, he's not with Mr. Rumsfeld. Again, with 2012 elections, wouldn't it be good to, and I always wonder why this doesn't happen sooner, to start really grooming a good candidate now? They always seem, the Republicans always seem to wait till the last minute to really kind of get together and get a candidate there, a viable candidate that could take on a Democrat, especially an incumbent.
Well, I think that's true of both political parties. If you think back to the Democratic primary that Mr. Obama won, and I think the reason for that is there's no senior council of leading Democrats or leading Republicans who can go into a smoke-filled room and start grooming somebody. It's the American people and the parties, the people of each party that end up picking these candidates.
But it does seem like it would be a lot more advantageous, especially for the party, if they would kind of work together instead of everybody trying to get their piece of the presidency, to just work together and get a candidate, a viable candidate to run that would really have a shot at winning.
Well, and of course, a primary process can produce a mistake, and you could end up with a candidate who's not very good.
Exactly, and I don't think we want to see that. I definitely don't want to see another 4 years of Barack Obama.
No, I know.
That's for sure.
Incumbents, often get reelected, and I think the Republicans are going to have to be careful not to overreach and to manage their affairs in a way that are responsible, and yet address what the American people really care about. Mm-hmm. And my goodness, this administration has served up a number of targets. How anyone can think that the budget President Obama put forward is responsible is beyond me.
Yeah.
The debt in this country is crushing, and it's going to damage this generation and future generations unless people have the courage to step up and deal with it.
What was it like when you met? There's a picture of you shaking hands with Saddam Hussein. Like, what was that day like? The day you met that dude.
Oh, that famous picture.
The dude who later was hung in a badly lit room.
I tried to tell Louis that was indeed during the time when he was an ally.
I'm just curious what that day was like.
And was, okay.
I'm just curious, what was that like to meet that fella?
Fair enough.
Well, it was. I was in Baghdad at the request of President Reagan, and I kind of describe this in my book. I met the night before with Tariq Assis, the deputy prime minister, and then the next morning I was invited in to be with Saddam Hussein. And the reason that Secretary Shultz and President Reagan and I all agreed that it made sense was Saddam Hussein was in a war with Iran and had taken our embassy people hostage, and was very hostile to the United States. The United States did not have diplomatic relations with Iraq, and the thought was that we, the old adage, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right.
And how did we manage to get crossways with the two big countries in that region, both of them, and yet they were hostile to each other?
Right.
So we felt that it was a good idea to see if we could reestablish relations, and that ultimately was done shortly after my visit. Now, what was it like? You walk in, there's a Middle Eastern despot. Is he a good guy or a Democrat? No. He's a thug, and he's in fatigues, and he's got a pistol on his hip, and he's a tough guy and not a good guy. On the other hand, people in Iran were worse, and when you get up in the morning and look around the world, there are not a lot of George Washingtons or Abraham Lincolns. We have to deal with people who aren't perfect on occasion.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to tell Louis.
And then, so how many guys do you think you've met that died by hanging?
Oh, Jesus.
That's a good question.
Yeah, more than one.
Yeah. More than one.
More than one, see?
Yeah. I've never met anybody I met a girl who hung herself. I never met anybody who was sentenced to hang.
He's had to deal with thugs during his career at some point.
Sure.
He's, the world. And a lot of people judge things, I've noticed, Mr. Rumsfeld, a lot of people judge things based on what's going on now. They don't take it in the context of the history and what was going on at the time. Now, during the Cold War, I think we were willing, as Americans and the press, to accept a lot more covert action on the part of the government for our own safety than we are now. Do you think that's a better thing, that there's so much more information available now? Or is it a kind of a good thing for the government to have maybe a little bit of a little more covertness in their actions?
Oh, I think you're right. I think that we live in a world where there are relatively few countries that are like we are. We have free political systems, and that means that we have got to have intelligence gathering activities if we're going to protect the American people.
Exactly.
But American safety is like the biggest deal to us. American defense. We've got to keep the American people safe. But what if a whole lot of people in other places have to die in order for us to be safe? Like, what if you found out that a lot of America was going to get hurt unless we just took France and just wiped it out? Would you trade France?
Hypothetical.
Would you trade France for Texas and Arizona?
Can you imagine if I answered that question?
Thank you.
What the news lead would be?
Exactly.
It would be like the answering your earlier question, where I would deny that I'm something that you asked me.
Right. He's not going to deny he's a lizard.
But he hasn't officially denied it.
What would be hurt by denying that you're a lizard?
I did not just arrive in town falling off a turnip.
There are no turnip carts in New York City.
Well, he didn't fall off of one.
No,
regardless.
I totally understand. But no, that's fascinating to me. What would be hurt by denying? And I'm not going to ask you to deny it now. I'm more interested in what would be hurt if you denied that you're a lizard.
He's justifying the question.
Sorry I brought it up. I apologize.
But I mean, we like to think that we're a comedy show, so we're just kind of asking a silly question.
But that is
Mr.
fascinating to me, that saying I am not a lizard might be dangerous. I want to know how it might hurt. Wait, how would it hurt your credibility?
This happened.
How did this happen?
There's a guy laughing in the background that is looking up our addresses now.
Mr. Rumsfeld, notice that Anthony Cumia is
a true patriot.
I am right behind you. I love your book, Donald Rumsfeld, Known and Unknown Memoir, in bookstores now. This thing really flying off the shelves, too.
I want to ask Mr. Rumsfeld his opinion on the unions right now. It's a big topic out there.
Well, it is, and what we've got is a government, an administration that, according to the data, has fewer people who've ever been in business than any administration in modern history. And what you've got is a lot of people who are lawyers and professional government people, and they don't have the business background. They have very close connections to the unions, and I'm terribly worried about the way that our trade relations are going around the country. The president and the administration have been responding to pressure from the unions with respect to the trade deal with South Korea, the trade agreement with Colombia. Here's Colombia, an important country in our hemisphere, and we've been stiffing them, we're missing what's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. In Asia, there are all kinds of trade agreements, and the United States is absent without leave. We're not engaged and doing it. And I think the answer is it's because of the unions. And we're at a first point in our country's history where there are more union members who are government employees than there are who are in the private sector.
That's a conflict, if you ask me.
Well, it's a worry.
Yeah.
And I think it's also not surprising, then, to note that the average pay of government employees is now higher than in the private sector.
That's not right.
And of course,
why is that not right?
Because it should be the other way around.
Well, of course,
teachers are government employees, right?
And the jobs and the products and the opportunities are all in the private sector, not in government.
Right.
But a teacher is a public employee, right? Is a unionized public employee.
Yes.
So they should be paid well, right?
But it's not a matter of being paid well.
But they should have the power to get together and bargain for better pay and better benefits, right?
Well, if you look around at the school systems, they are in trouble, and they're not providing the kind of education for kids, and so the system isn't working perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
My wife Joyce started the Chicago Foundation for Education because the Chicago school system was described as the worst school system in America 25 years ago.
Wow.
And here's a great city, a wonderful city, and it had a school system that the Secretary of Education labeled the worst. Now, why is that? It isn't because people are bad. It's because the process isn't working. There wasn't any choice. People didn't have a choice. They paid their taxes, and they had to go to school in their neighborhood, and they didn't have choice. I'm a Milton Friedman fan. I think giving school vouchers so that parents and kids can make those choices, and pretty soon the schools that nobody wants to choose have to disappear, and the schools where people want to go succeed because they get a good education, they prosper.
Yeah, but American public schools used to be great, and now they're not. So for years and years, they did well without vouchers and charter schools, and then all of a sudden, money got taken out of those systems, and now they're suffering. And then the people that took the money out point at the system and go, ha, you suck because I took your money away. So now we're going to... So what happened? Why did they work before?
I don't think that's the case, what you just said. I don't think that the reason the schools are not doing well today is because the money's not there. I think that you look at the average price that we're paying per student or per school, and it's quite high. It just isn't producing the kind of results that a more competitive system would.
Mm-hmm. How come it worked before, though? When it was simpler, most people went to public schools, and you could just go walk down to your public school and get a great education. Like, how come there's a decline when it was working without the competition?
I think probably it was a result of the fact that we were more of a rural country. We had much more parental involvement. There was more smaller elements, and then as we became more of an urbanized country, there was more distance between parents and the schools, more distance between government in the schools, and they just deteriorate.
And teaching the basics of what people need to know instead of a lot of political correct gibberish
really? You think
that
that's
are in
what,
the schools now. I believe that, Louis.
Is teaching evolution? That's what hurt the schools?
No, I'm not saying that. I just think that there's a lot going on in schools that has nothing to do with educating the students and preparing them for life.
I could be wrong, but I think there might have been one other thing. You know, for years we had the draft. And we excluded people from the draft who were students, teachers, or married. And as a result, people who did not want to serve in the military kind of gravitated to getting married or becoming a teacher or becoming a student. And so over time you had a bifurcation of a generation. And that group is now just about retiring.
Right.
The all-volunteer military came in under the Nixon administration in the late 1960s and early 1970s. And so all of those people that up to 1970 now, of course, would be 30, 40 years later. So if they became teachers in the ages of 20, 25, 30, they'd now be retiring.
Yeah.
Hey, did he answer the question about unions? Are you for or against the unions, sir?
What do you mean? I've got no problem with unions. Yeah. What I have a problem with is if unions end up exerting an undue influence in what's taking place in our country and stopping the United States of America from participating in free trade agreements around the world, which are the kinds of things that help to create jobs.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
But if the jobs are in other places and if the United States is getting to compete, who is the United States at that point? Is it General Electric and Walmart, or is it actual people who live in these places like Wisconsin who are asking to be able to sue for their own rights as a union?
Well, that the governor up there, I'm not knowledgeable about Wisconsin. I'm from New Mexico, as the cover of my book shows.
No, you got a polar fleece on.
A handsome picture.
But my recollection is that the governor ran on a platform of doing exactly what he's doing, addressing the fact that the state is bankrupt. And how does he fix that? Well, he can't fix it if the unions won't let him. And he's going to have to find a way to put that state on an upward path rather than allowing it continue to go down, spending more than they take in.
Exactly.
And if the unions are going to try to prevent that, he has to do something about that.
I got an observation. You sound just like Dr. Demento.
What?
Dr. Demento.
Someone's going to appreciate that out there.
Why, somebody
The Funny
thinks-
Five.
That guy used to do the funny radio thing.
Yes, you got the exact same voice.
Well, he's got a
sir.
very distinctive voice. I know you could always tell Donald Rumsfeld when he was on TV,
right.
Even from the other room. You have a very strong, distinct voice. I have a couple of questions just out of curiosity I want to ask
just
you.
an observation.
Mr. Rumsfeld, what type of aircraft did you fly?
I was flying, the last plane I flew was an S-2F, which was a Grumman anti-submarine plane.
Oh, that's cool.
Did you have more capability to fly it because of your lizard reflexes?
Stop it.
I've got a thought for you.
Okay, good.
Folks are looking for a present for friends of yours. I spent 8 days recording the unabridged version of my book.
Oh.
About 8 hours a day. And if you want to hear the voice...
And the voice, right.
What you do is you buy the unabridged version of the book, and then you can play it in your car when you're going to and from work, and I'll be right there with you.
I think you need that, Louis.
I'll be right there with you.
You absolutely do. I want to ask you one more thing, because I know you got to go soon. I'm a very, very strong advocate of the Second Amendment. I'm a lifetime member of the NRA. Are you a member of the NRA?
I'm not sure if I am right now. I have been, and I think I am.
And are you an avid shooter? Because I am, and I love it.
I have guns. I have rifles and shotguns and pistols and at various locations, and I'm an elk hunter out in New Mexico.
So you're a strong advocate of the Second Amendment, as I am, sir?
Have you ever shot a person?
No.
No.
That's a great question.
I think everybody should be asked that.
No, have you shot
Have you ever shot
person?
some? He was the Secretary
terrible.
of Defense. He was in charge of everybody that America killed for a very long time.
Oh, stop it.
I've been shot at. Does that count?
He's been shot at. That's
I was
crazy.
right next to President Ford when the bullet went right by his head and right by my head into the hotel in San Francisco.
Wow. Yeah. That was that crazy.
Were you ever shot at with any
Manson broad.
other, besides bullets, like plasma rays or anything else that are used
space
to take down?
Would you stop it, Louis?
Flesh-eating space lizards.
My God, man.
Who eat the poor.
Donald Rumsfeld, Known and Unknown, a memoir. I suggest anybody that's interested in the history of this fine country and the history of a patriot and this fine man, go out and buy this book. Thank you, Donald Rumsfeld. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Enjoy being with you.
I'm pretty sure you're a
Thanks,
lizard.
sir. He's not a lizard. Stop it.
Pretty sure
you,
he
sir.
ate people once.
You should select your partners carefully.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying,
right.
sir.
Come see me at the
you.
Borgata in Atlantic City on April 23rd. It's almost sold out.
Just a local comic, sir, that we really don't know much about.
Yeah, I don't know
He'll be
him.
gone tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Donald Rumsfeld, everyone.
There he is. Donald Rumsfeld. Quick, hang up the phone. Oh, my God. Oh, my dear sweet Jesus.
I can't believe you didn't let him answer.
Why did you not? Because he wasn't ever going to answer.
Why not
that
just
he was
at least
say I'm not a lizard?
Hear his not answering. At least hear the silence of not answering.
He said I wouldn't answer that because
I didn't get to hear because you kept talking with other questions over him not
gonna
answering.
Sit there and listen to the former Secretary of Defense try to defend that he's not a lizard. Why?
Why wouldn't you?
Why?
Because
Why wouldn't you want to live that moment?
Because first of all, he's not a lizard.
Why do you
Secondly,
want to be baby CNN instead of the only show that finally got the guy to say, okay, look, I'm going to finally say something about this lizard shit. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm not a lizard, per se.
No, he said he wasn't going to dignify it. He said if he said yes or no.
That could have been a recording, what we just... He could have just... It could have been a dude playing like those prank calls.
No, it was Donald Rumsfeld.
But the thing got interesting when we asked him if he was lizard. It put a hitch in his giddy up.
Look, you know what? He handled it like a gentleman and like a professional.
He handled it like a lizard who knows how to never answer.
No, he said, I'm not going to answer.
Did you hear at one point, and I wish you'd almost play it back, the first time I asked it and he told that fucking psychotic story
it was
about a friend, some guy buying him dinner? And then he said, you're messing with the wrong people. He said that. Go back and play it. And then he bought me dinner. You're messing with the wrong people. And then I swear to God, he said it.
See,
go find that and play it back.
But it was because he was saying how people do find him fine and a great.
So what is
person
that? Why does that mean I'm messing with the wrong people? Unless he's trying to tell me that I'm not going to make it home tonight.
Maybe he was throwing a subliminal thing out like you threw a subliminal lizard out in the middle of his discussion.
It was not subliminal. It was quite direct. And I paid him respect. I said, you totally are this guy who's done these amazing things. I just want to know if you and Dick Cheney are lizards.
No, when
you ask somebody
if he ate human flesh, you asked if he ate human flesh. And that is not a question for the Secretary of Defense.
Well,
look, if he has eaten human flesh, we better find out. If he is a lizard, we better know because he's coming back.
If he ate Mexican babies, you asked Donald Rumsfeld if he ate Mexican babies.
If I was in his position, I would be I'd be happy for the opportunity to acquit myself on that.
Come on,
on that issue.
The guy doesn't have to.
What the fuck is it hurt a person to say no? I am not a lizard. No,
Because
I haven't
then-
eaten a Mexican baby.
Because then somebody in the press can write, when asked if he was a lizard, Donald Rumsfeld replied...
Told a story about the guy buying him dinner. What the fuck kind of a denial is that?
It's not.
What the fuck kind of denial is that?
No one would buy dinner for a lizard in a restaurant.
I believe
he
that
was
the
saying
that
he was
the
answering you
lizard,
through a story.
I believe that the space lizard baby eaters
He's not a space lizard.
He and Dick Cheney have some weird thing where they can't lie about it.
Listen,
where if asked directly, they have to say yes.
Oh, you think that's a?
They can either not answer, or they can't say, or they have to say yes. If they say, do anything. Tell a story about someone buying you dinner.
So you're saying that there's something ingrained in the lizardness that keeps him from saying,
just saying no, of course not.
They can't do that.
Can't do it. His lizard head comes off and the red eyes come out.
In honor of Louis C.K., I just tweeted, answer the question, are you a lizard? Hashtag are you a lizard? No. Louis C.K. wants to know. Pass it along.
I really want to know.
I can't.
I just want an answer, and I really was fascinated that he said, "Can you imagine what would happen if I answered?"
Exactly.
By the way,
could you imagine?
I asked him if we could wipe out France to save Arizona and Texas. Would we do it? And he said, why wouldn't you answer?
Why would you?
Because
as Donald Rumsfeld, why would you answer that?
Because he may if he can't answer the question, that means he's had to weigh that, and he may have to do it. And he may have to do it. The fact that he can't answer that on the same level plane as can't answer that he's not a lizard means that they're both viable questions.
No, they are not.
Yeah. Roland, did we survive?
I can't wait till Louis gets home, and it's going to be dark, and he'll unlock his door, shut it, and someone will go, leave the light off, Louis.
Well, his guy asked
leave
me for
the light
Louis'
off.
email address.
Yes,
did he really?
Yes.
No.
Really? Donald Rumsfeld?
Leave the light off.
Let me say hi to Brian in Pennsylvania. Brian.
Fellas, that was Radio Gold. That was a fantastic interview. And do you realize that you had one of the major chess pieces in world history? I mean, the last 10 years has influenced all of us as Americans. As
exactly.
No, absolutely.
Just interviewed. And, you know what was even classic was that you can tell how much Louis C.K. is a fucking comedian. This guy could not keep it straight. He couldn't do a straight question.
No, I couldn't stop laughing. You know what? I was laughing because I was a little scared to be saying it. Like I was laughing nervous.
I was cracking up because Travis Teft, by the way, Travis was popping up pictures of Donald Rumsfeld at the podium with a big lizard head, like a suit, a tie, and a lizard head. And I was laughing. I couldn't look at the screen because I was laughing.
Look, we all know Danny Ross sits in this.
It was a perfect interview because he's not going to answer really, really tough questions. So Louis kept it nice with the lizard thing.
I think it was fascinating to talk.
You certainly asked the right questions.
I wanted to keep.
I like that I got a direct answer to how many people have you met that died by hanging?
Yeah, there were quite
and
a
he
few.
said more than one.
More than one.
Very casual.
More than one.
That was Well, Saddam is a biggie. Maybe Chemical Ali.
Yeah.
You might have met him at some point.
At one point, someone in the background was laughing. One of his people.
Oh, one of his people started laughing.
We got the lizard comment. I got to hear it again.
Oh,
you got that? Iraq.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
Yeah, play. This is the answer with the dinner thing. All right, play it until he says you mess with the wrong people. I want to hear that context. Go ahead.
The whole thing is a minute and a half.
All right.
That's fine. Where are we going?
It's interesting, though, because there are people who think, I mean, here's a guy who, met Eisenhower as a congressman, right?
I was running for Congress, exactly.
And worked for Ford and Nixon and Reagan and both Bushes. And there's still those people out there that think, Rumsfeld and Dick Cheney are actually lizards. Who, I mean, literally, there's people that think they're lizards from outer space.
Yeah, that's true.
Who eat human flesh. I don't know if anybody's ever asked you directly, sir, but are you a lizard?
I don't think.
Are you actually? Can you just please give that a straight answer? Are you a lizard person?
Louis a little left-leaning.
No,
sir.
I'm not.
I'm deflecting.
Let him answer. Are you a lizard?
Here's the short answer. Yeah. I'm in New York City. I walk down the street. People walk up, shake hands, stop me. They want an autograph.
They wouldn't do this, lizard.
Go to eat last night at dinner, and Joyce and I were sitting there in the little Italian restaurant, and a man came up and said he'd like to buy my dinner, and I refused. And it turns out I paid for my dinner. The next thing I know, the waiter comes back and said the man insisted to pay for your dinner, and here's your canceled receipt for paying.
Oh, wow, that's very nice.
There's plenty of people that...
you didn't answer the question.
He's not going to dignify...
I think you're hanging around with the wrong people.
He's not going to dignify an answer to, are you a lizard?
Stop it there. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
He was asked if he was a lizard from space who eats human flesh.
Right.
His answer was, the short answer is, I was walking in New York City last night. We went to a little Italian restaurant. Me and Joyce had a nice dinner. A fellow wanted to pay for our dinner. Turns out we'd already paid for our dinner. Next thing I know, the waiter gives us a canceled check, says, it's on the house. I think you're messing with the wrong people. That was his answer verbatim. That was his answer verbatim.
I think he said, you're hanging around with the wrong people.
Play just that last quote again.
Okay. You didn't answer the question.
He's not going to dignify.
I think you're hanging around with the wrong people.
Well, even what the fuck does that even mean?
He meant that we shouldn't be hanging with you.
Oh, is that it?
Yes.
You're so dead,
Somebody
Louis.
bought me dinner last night. You're hanging around with the wrong people.
It's still bad for you because he basically told us we shouldn't be hanging with you.
You're so dead, Louis.
Because unless you want to be collateral damage.
You know what? You know what I say? Go see Louis C.K. at the Borgata.
I don't think he makes it to April 23rd.
April 23rd. You know
Come watch me be assassinated live like Malcolm X. Come watch a fucking patsy whose kid is in a cellar being beaten.
A patsy.
Shoot me in the fucking head in front of the Atlantic City fucking half-awake gamblers.
They're going to walk you through the kitchen like Bobby.
In front of a bunch of comped Chinese guys
just gonna
flew in on jets.
Your head's going to vaporize.
Yeah.
The point is still
lizard.
See, the reason why I asked him, because when I
with the wrong
watched
people.
Rumsfeld is that when I saw him do those press conferences, I always thought if somebody asked him something like that, are you a lizard that eats human flesh? He'd go, yes, I am. Next question. And it would be like, now we know, but who cares? They have too much power for anybody to do anything. He's an unelected official. He's a dangerous man. He never has been. He ran for Congress once. Otherwise, he's never been fucking
dangerous people that have been elected. He was.
Sure.
He's a great man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Donald Rumsfeld, great man. That's what I say. That's my take on him.
Look at his fucking face.
He's a handsome man.
That is an easy mask to zip on and off.
Look
I've ever seen one.
He's not zipping it. You think he's zipping it over his lizard head?
Every few years they update it so he ages. They got a guy that they fucking took hostage from Lucasfilm, from the Lucas Ranch.
Industrial Lights and Magic.
Yeah.
When does he go back to
him.
being a lizard?
What's that?
When does he just go back to being a lizard?
He goes home. He's probably fucking sitting there as a lizard talking to us right now. On the phone, he's sitting. I am not going to answer that question.
Do you think he's just
sitting there as a lizard with his little fucking green legs crossed?
Because he didn't have to be in public today.
That's right.
And his tail.
The guy laughing, if you probably play it back, you'll hear a lizard. He left. The guy in the background. Yeah, he's playing with his tail. Whatever lizards do when they're
twirling
his
tail on the phone, not even answering your question.
I'm not going to answer that. Get his phone.
He's not a lizard. You are so
You're hanging
dead.
around with the wrong people.
hanging around with the wrong people.
What kind of fucking answer was that? I don't understand it.
Here's the short
It's almost
answer.
like if you ask a computer a question that gets underneath its program, and it comes back gibberish.
It doesn't know what
like
it is.
that's how to find out somebody's a robot. You're talking to them, and all of a sudden you say to them like lemonade dog sauce, and they go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. That's what that was like.
That's how Kirk used to get
I'm telling
androids
you,
all the time.
I'm telling you what happened. I'm going to tell you what happened.
All right.
He is a lizard who presses these buttons to answer questions. Like he's got a bodysuit that goes on when he does press conferences that he runs ergonomically.
Okay.
But when he's a lizard with his body off, he can't talk, so he just uses this button.
It's like a soundboard.
Like your fucking
like
soundboard.
a sound machine or something.
Yeah, like
No shit.
that kind of. He's got a Rumsfeld loaded one of those.
Okay.
And I said, "Are you a lizard?" And he went, "Oh fuck!" And he fumbled and he hit the "tell the story about dinner" button. he tell the story, that nice story button.
Like when we hit the
like
wrong
when they
effect
ask,
sometimes.
he has a button. He had that loaded for like, "Have you enjoyed your time in New York?"
Yeah. So what have you been doing in New York?
Are you a lizard that eats flesh? Oh fuck! Well, I went to a dinner. Shit.
Here's a short of it. I was, and he's like, I can't just stop it now.
No, he has to listen.
I
can't stop it.
I let it roll.
Yes.
So I let the whole dinner story.
That's what happened. I'm telling you.
Oh fuck, Louie! God damn, man.
That was one for the ages right there.
He's not a lizard, I don't think.
Be careful.
But if he is,
be careful what you eat in the coming days. There, Lo.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna
Be
get
careful.
some fucking ricin stuck in your
I'm
side.
gonna only eat figs like Caesar Augustus. Fucking lived on figs till his wife painted poison on him.
We should take a break, I guess. What do you
Yeah,
wanna do?
please. Let's take a break.
And certainly getting props on the interview there.
Oh,
so.
it was a lot
nice
of fun talking to.
You
Well,
actually-
I had to be the straight
Yes.
man.
Actually did
Someone
a
had to
good
keep him
job
on the
with that.
fucking
No,
phone.
it is pretty artful how you're able to keep him on the phone after those
to
questions.
just blurt out another question, and you heard me going like, da, 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 da. All I'm trying to think of is anything I can ask him.
Wasn't Reagan nice?
What kind of aeroplane did you fly? Ah, Christ, man.
All right. We got Duff McKagan. He's going to check
Duff
in
is
next.
coming in?
Say hi to us.
Is
It's
he
been
a
a while.
lizard?
Good friend of the show.
He's not a lizard.
He can help you with stocks, too, Lo.
All right, good.
I
He knows the stock market a little
about
bit.
what's going on with
And other
Apple.
things. All right. Are you a lizard? That's what
Still
we're asking.
unanswered.
That's what we're asking on
and
Twitter
it
right
still
now.
remains
Unanswered.
unanswered.
Enjoy that hashtag. Are you a lizard? One word. Opie and Anthony. Louis C.K. Borgata, April 23rd, man.
God damn.
What are you doing? Get your tickets now. You didn't answer the question.
He's
That was-
not going
I
to
think you're
dignify.
hanging around with the wrong people.
You're listening to Opie and Anthony. On the Virus, Sirius XM.
Ah, fuck, what a day. Louis C.K. in studio. Louis C.K. on Twitter. And Louis playing the Borgata, April 23rd. Tickets are going to go fast, man. And he's hoping to add a second show. But it's not a guarantee yet. So get your tickets for April 23rd. Louis C.K., Borgata Hotel. We got Duff McKagan outside the studio.
Duff.
We should bring him in
Yeah.
to join the program.
Certainly. Come on in, Duff. What's he been up to? There he is.
What's up, Duff?
Duff.
It's been a while.
We're in the new studio. How you been, man?
Good, how are you?
Good. Doing all right. It's Louis C.K.
Hi, how
Duff
are you?
Good,
McKagan.
how are you doing?
Nice to meet you.
You too. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, Louis is a good guy.
Morning.
We like Louis.
Yeah.
He's going to
Are we
be dead
doing this?
soon, though.
No, he'll sit
Yeah,
with us.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Donald Rumsfeld is going to have him killed for calling him.
It might not
implying
be
he
a
was-
good day.
He's a lizard.
Yeah, you missed it, but
You guys got one of the 5 interviews or something?
Yeah.
Is that
yeah,
right?
yeah, We
Yeah.
did real well, man. I don't know how we got that
Louis
done.
was
he had no
suggesting he was a
business.
lizard, man.
Yeah, he had no business calling this radio show.
No, none.
So I really don't know how
I don't
we
know
got him.
who. I think
No.
was that Roland that actually bullshit.
Because Imus is mad. Imus does politics, you know.
Imus didn't get.
Imus didn't get Rummy, but we did.
Opie and Anthony got him.
Yeah, he's pissed off that we got him.
Son of a bitch! Don't uninvite him from my party.
Right.
So who else got him? This is
Us and Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart.
I think.
Yeah.
That's really it. And then like the top whatever other
And then,
guys,
like,
right?
you know, the news channels, you know.
The View. He was on The View.
Like a View and maybe a Fox type
And
thing.
you got the ladies on The View.
Yeah.
We got probably
But-
2 Fox News.
But we got to the bottom of it. Louis C.K. almost had him answer the question and are you a lizard?
Are you eating human flesh? Or are you a lizard?
Yeah, almost.
Asked him
close.
repeatedly.
Did you?
And he refused to answer yes or no.
Of course he refused.
And now we're worried about Louis' safety.
Yeah, because he is Rumsfeld.
Never answered.
Rumsfeld insider, one of the inner circle guys.
You better stay up on this floor and not leave. Maybe.
No, I'm not going to be alone for a while.
Yeah, you are. I'm not walking with you today.
He'll stay up on this floor until he mysteriously flies out a window. Louis killed himself, man. He seemed so happy.
I saw him shot in the gymnasium at the Pentagon.
I saw
sitting alone in a wheelchair.
I saw Louis in Times Square. Someone poked him with an umbrella.
Very
strange.
Months
It's not even
And
raining.
his body was full of salt water, and he was in the desert.
It was weird.
Yeah, very what happened.
Very
A
strange.
tattoo that he didn't used to have.
Oh well. And then we'll go. Oh well, he'll be missed.
His spleen
Let's
is
just move
gone.
on.
His spleen is gone, and there's no sign of surgery.
No sign of surgery. We found a scale next to him.
Couple of scales on his.
Couple of scales and scratches.
Is this your guys' way of catching me up on the show?
Sorry. I
Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
You know.
What's going on today? What's Gaddafi doing and all that stuff?
He's still defiant, I guess you'd call it.
Oh, he's defiant.
Yes, he's defiant. I think he's trying to kill as many of his people as he can
before he gets killed.
He gets out.
Well,
it's like a
that makes
Stratego
sense.
or something.
Yeah, what do you think about that whole thing? The Middle East revolting in general, and
you know,
It is
I guess
revolting.
my only comment. I have that column for the Seattle Weekly, and I got an email from a girl, American girl, who's married to an Egyptian guy. So this was a couple weeks ago, and they were in the square, and the girl's from Seattle, but she lives there, and her letter highlighted what a day-to-day life is like there, and how much people make a day, and how much like bread and gasoline is, and she wasn't really commenting either way. She was just, this is our reality. We need change. It's kind. I played. My only experience really. I played in Israel and I played in Dubai. And I played in Dubai about 3 years ago at the Desert Rock Festival. They're really trying to do like a rock festival. And the kids, they come from Iraq, Iran, Egypt, India, and they're starved for rock and roll. And kids are just kids, and these are 20-something-year-olds, and they want rock, and they want to talk, and they want to exchange ideas, and very, very eye-opening to see. Traveling in a rock band, you see that people are just people wherever you go, and the people aren't necessarily their government. Just like me touring, I wasn't one of Bush's cronies. When
I was.
I'm a free thinker, and there's a lot of free thinkers around the world. So I guess these, I don't know. My take is on the young youth of those areas are just a little sick and tired of it.
Yeah, but you know what? You throw the leaders out, and then the youth isn't in charge of who gets put in next.
Well, no,
that's the problem.
It's Donald Rumsfeld.
Right. Rumsfeld will decide. He's deciding right now.
No, he's cloning a pot of himself to go there now.
He's
to be
brewing
the new
up some
Egyptian
sort
leader.
of dictator stew over there.
Yeah, his lizard friends will be in the office over there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The way
the youth can't.
Sorry
really,
to keep digressing, but
Yeah.
and when you
We're
asked
obsessed
him
with the lizard thing.
about the primaries and stuff, he said, "You can see how their brains work, and you can study them." He said that about learning about the candidates. You can see how their brains work.
He probably literally has seen their brains working and
dissected them.
Open them up.
Yeah.
Sorry, Duff. It
was just really fucked up to have that powerful a guy.
We've never had a guy like that on our show.
It's
no
like
offense to
kinda
you
crazy.
and Louis and everybody else, but that's a powerful guy.
Yeah.
He's had people killed.
Well,
have you ever had people killed, Duff?
Naturally.
Yeah, of course.
Come on.
Yeah.
So how do
What are you
I
gonna
follow up Donald Rumsfeld?
It's not the best spot for you. I'll be honest with you.
How about throw a curveball in there and ask you about a couple of things about the stock market?
Stock market.
Yeah.
You invest a lot?
Are you bullish or bearish right about now?
I'm kind of neither right now.
Yeah.
I take positions and I hold them.
Oh, you're a hold guy?
Yeah. Well, I think we
Okay.
talked about this.
Yeah.
before. You're much more of you're an active guy.
I'm not an hour by hour buying ticks kind of guy, but I'll hold for
Well,
anywhere from a few days to a month.
You made a move yesterday,
Yeah,
though.
So, I made a great move
Why don't you
yesterday.
tell Duff your move?
Well, what's your move?
I bought some I bought some
Listen to this
Apple
move.
some Apple call options right before it tanked.
Oh, well, oops.
Yeah.
Oops.
I see it coming back, but you know the market's been down a couple of days in a row here.
I buy
so.
gold coins. That's
Oh,
what-
you're a gold
something-
guy.
Gold coins.
Yeah.
I've
Gold
seen
coins.
Louis do this. It's very
The ones
fascinating.
on TV?
You got some
The
on you?
ones on TV. Do you carry Krugerrands
I
with you?
carry one gold coin.
Oh,
For when the
when
shit
you get
hits
mugged,
the fan.
at least you. Oh, for when the shit hits the fan.
So you can get a
I've got
taxi
one-
or something.
I've got one gold coin.
That is great.
I got 1 ounce of gold on me at all times. I shouldn't be telling this to people. Right? Why am I saying this? I am always carrying an ounce of gold.
You really don't like
if
your
you
life.
hit me on the head, it's worth it. Guaranteed at least $1,400.
I'm getting the impression,
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm getting the
Canadian.
impression Louis doesn't like his life.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's a Canadian.
Asking
Canadian gold,
Rumsfeld
which is
if he's a
different.
lizard
That's,
and carrying around gold coins, that means
Yeah.
About
you
heavy
really
gold.
I know
is.
some
Gold.
heavy, right? No, gold coins are
Gold
nice.
is
and you
nice
get
and
to
heavy.
You slam
Yeah.
it down.
Yeah.
Hey, man, give me a good farthing of whatever. Yeah. It's a real.
Give me a satchel of that bit is great, by the way. The whole payment, vague
Oh, that's what
payment
made
payments.
me start liking gold coins.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing to have,
Yeah.
especially in this day and age.
The world I come from, like was so, especially in my 20s, was so sort of insane. And rock and roll is so up and down, and there's enough chaos and roller coasterness in rock and roll.
Yeah.
That, I'm the last of 8 kids. My parents grew up in the Depression. And so I learned a lot. I heard the stories, just kind of learned the lessons. And there's enough chaos in my life that I really found when I went back to school in my 30s at business school that I was really like that rule of sevens for me. 7% every 7 years, you double your money. That really stuck for me. So I really non-aggressive portfolio. And I don't lose any sleep. And I hold positions. I held through the whole 2008.
Yeah, all that.
When
that tanked, and
put it
everybody.
all in, take it all out, and
Just
I
leave
didn't
it.
do it.
Don't look at every
Now,
statement
your problem,
like it's.
Anthony, is that you're a blackjack player.
Yes.
And the problem with blackjack players is if you just sit there and win $25 every hand, then you're going to be a millionaire if you're just patient.
That's great.
And when you lose, you're only going to lose $25. But which you start
It's like
thinking that
casino.
you're good at blackjack.
It's like casino.
If
when
you
they-
win
that-
3
that
hands, you
quote.
think it's due to
Yeah.
your eminence on
Right,
Earth.
of
So you go,
course.
fuck it, $10,000 hand.
I'm like, I don't consider it winning $25. I consider it losing $9,975.
That's right.
He's been known to do that, though.
Because he didn't bet that.
He's done some pretty crazy hands.
I've done crazy hands.
But you've done okay. You're pretty smart about that, aren't you?
I'm not. You know what? Here's what
you
people
up?
don't understand. I think I was until last timeout. Wow! By the
much
way,
did you
go
lose?
to the Borgata. Enjoy the Anthony Cumia wing that they've installed there when you go see Louis C.K. at the Borgata. Wow! No, it was a biggie, but I.
How much did you lose? Will you tell me?
I don't talk. I'll tell you
No.
off the air,
Okay.
but I don't like talking figures on
I
the air.
understand.
Because
I understand.
right there.
The guys like that.
Imagine if I answered that question.
Yeah, that to me, answering that is like him answering the lizard question.
Yes.
I just won't do it. But see, I don't think a lot of people
Rumsfeld say
understand.
anything like, what are you doing, Donald? What do you call him? Don?
Mr. Rumsfeld, I was
Okay.
calling him.
D?
Should have called Mr. Secretary.
Are you? Did you say anything like, "Are you pimping your book"? Is that was he pimping his book? Is that what's going on?
I was
trying
like,
to sell books.
I was saying that his book is fantastic, even though I have not read it yet.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
I looked at the pictures.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I even read some of the words under the pictures.
Is there any like childhood pictures?
Oh
Me
yeah,
as a-
yeah. There's his little egg. They have a picture of him when he was just in his egg.
Yeah, when he was just an egg in the sand.
Yeah, in the sand.
Buried in the sand. In the sands of Mars. In the red sand of Mars when he was an egg.
No, there really is no childhood pictures.
When he was an
No.
egg in the sands of
Suspect.
Mars 6,000 years ago.
he should have put some
6,000
pictures.
Martian lizard.
He's got pictures?
It
Well,
would
no,
have.
but
as a
like-
child, right?
you know,
Childhood pictures would have made it more endearing, right?
Yeah, when he was a teenager in
They're like,
Mesopotamia.
This is my fashion faux pas when I was 16.
Yeah, something like that.
experimented in
back.
college.
When the hell was he born? How old is he?
He says 78, I think.
Yeah.
Duff, what are we promoting today? What brings you to New York?
Well, I got The Loaded has a record coming out.
Oh, right on.
April 19th. It's called The Taking. We're making a movie.
Really?
For it. It's pretty damn hilarious.
Right.
Our drummer gets kidnapped.
Figure too.
And it all happens in one day, and it's a madcap
comedy.
Well, of course. But it's really. Oh, thank you. Coffee delivered.
Yeah, Starbucks.
You guys do it all.
We're not
right
happy
here.
with Starbucks.
This is real good.
He remembers when Starbucks literally was a local fucking
Right, when it was a
mom-and-pop
Pike Street, when it was a cool
There's
thing
one.
for a minute.
There was.
right?
You remember when there was one?
At the market, Pike
Yeah.
Place Market.
And at the time, they had to compete with a bunch of other kids who had their own like little coffee
Just
kiosks.
coffee house.
There was more those kiosks on the streets that you used to have.
There was one. There was the one under the monorail. That's
Right.
the original.
That was the
sort
first
of
Starbucks.
Walk up. No, that wasn't before Starbucks. But there was just like a lot of little coffee.
But
houses.
Louis,
I remember
we
that.
should ask him because
Are you from Seattle?
No, I
No,
used
but-
to play. I do stand up, so I
Yeah.
played there a lot in my youth.
But we
In
should.
your youth.
There's a couple of shitty comedy clubs there.
We should
They
ask
were
him.
shitty.
You know Giggles. I don't know if you ever.
Yeah, I
did
played Giggles. Yeah.
Now you know what it just turned into
What?
Jiggles. It's a strip club.
Really?
just-
Giggles to jiggles?
They just had to change a letter. It was
You know
very
what?
inexpensive.
That's really sad about comedy.
I don't know why because
One letter away from a fucking strip joint.
I think that place did pretty well with comedy.
Giggles was there for years, and I worked for one guy who owned it. And I was a young comic then, and I was headlining. And I did the first show was Tuesday. You had to work like Tuesday through Sunday then. And so I did the Tuesday night show, and then Wednesday morning he woke me up in my hotel like at 6 a.m. And he says, how do you feel it went last night?
Wow.
And I said, I thought I did pretty good. He goes, I didn't feel that the audience respected you at all.
Wow.
At
He
6
said-
a.m. he did.
Yeah.
This.
And I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, you don't wear a jacket. You're on stage in a T-shirt.
The fuck?
I want you to wear a jacket the rest of the week.
Wow.
And I said, I don't
What an
wear
asshole.
a jacket. I don't own one. I'm certainly not traveling with one.
Yeah.
So why don't I take you to the store today and you buy a jacket, and I'll take it out of your check, and then your shows will go better. And I said,
A
listen,
jacket is
he
gonna-
said that. And I said,
asshole.
listen, I'm not going to go to the show to the store with you. I'm not going to buy a jacket. So just tell me now if I got to get on the plane and go home, because this whole line of questioning. I'm not doing this.
It's just awful.
Either put up with me or send me home.
Yeah.
And he was, all right. You should have worn a jacket, but fine.
What was the 6 a.m. thing about?
He called me at 6 a.m. That's when that's when he wakes up.
He was obsessed with the fact
he was up all night.
Good.
Fucking
But
comic wasn't wearing a
let's
jacket.
fast forward for Duff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Louis played Carnegie Hall recently in
Very
a
nice.
black shitty T-shirt.
Yeah.
So what did that guy
That's
know?
right.
Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry to say
Black
shitty, but
T-shirt and jeans. No,
it was just a black T-shirt and jeans. No one gave a shit because the guy was hilarious and got a standing ovation at the
Yeah,
end.
and that guy.
So what did that guy know with his stupid
His
jacket?
club's now Jiggles. It's not
That's
Jiggles,
right.
So look where he's at.
That's right.
Right.
Well, he's probably looking at.
Duff, can we ask
Yeah.
you something? Because we were talking about this earlier. Now, you remember when Starbucks was one store. We were talking about corporate America squeezing everyone out, especially like a Starbucks is squeezing out all the local coffee guys. Are you seeing that even in Seattle? Is Starbucks...
No, the Northwest in general, like Seattle and Portland. Have you seen Portlandia yet? Have you
No, I
seen-
hadn't seen it.
You know, you've heard about it.
Yeah.
What?
Kind of genius.
That's what I heard.
It's
It's
a
funny.
show on like IFC, and it's a you have to see it. It kind of takes the piss out of the preciousness of like Portland and Seattle, but more Portland. But no, there's still like little independent
They're hanging
coffee
in there.
roasters all over the place in Seattle. In Seattle, Starbucks is looked at as sort of like, oh, really? You went to Starbucks when you could have went to
Right.
Stumptown or
Right.
Zoka Coffee Roaster, you know.
So you guys are hanging in there because the rest of America is being taken over by Starbucks. That's the
But it's
point
convenient.
Louis
I
was
mean,
making today.
I don't really. It's Starbucks is fine.
Mm-hmm.
It is huge and corporate, yes, but you can get it anywhere in the world.
And that's the problem, man.
That's it. Yeah. Well. Right. You know, I'm kind of losing that edge, you know.
Oh, yeah?
I
Are
kind
ya?
of get. But you know, I mean,
Yeah, but do you only want to go to Starbucks? I mean, wouldn't you like to?
No,
Wouldn't you like to think, man? When I used to go to Chicago, there's this one coffee place McGee's, and they always had Ethiopian something or other. But now it's just a Starbucks.
No, I will seek out. There's a great little coffee place on 6th and 54th or 55th or something here in town that I like. And there's a lot of good little coffee places, and I will seek it out. But
I seek it out too.
If I'm up here,
but a lot of places, Starbucks kills those. They kill them. They predatorily kill them.
No, there is that. They will strategically put their stores in places, of course. But I don't know where we're going with this. Starbucks is taking. I get, when BP.
We got the whole corporate thing. That's
BP,
where we're going.
I mean, that kind of the BP and the sort of passing the buck thing happened in
now that I made some money on.
BP.
Yeah, BP went down because little ducks were being all coated in oil. Buy opportunity.
Well, by the way, I have a different view about that because a lot of people called it an oil spill. That's what they're calling it. Mm-hmm. Like it's an oil spill. They like to think that a corporation created toxic oil and poured it into the Gulf. Yes. That's what people like to tell themselves. That a Texas American corporation. But oil is fucking dead pine trees and all kinds of. It's a natural mineral that's beneath the earth that leaked out by a British corporation that was trying to get it.
Yes,
but it's the earth shitting in its own mouth. It's not. It's all natural, and animals died, and greed was the cause of it. But it wasn't. It's natural.
Yeah, it is a natural thing.
It's a bubbling. It's like getting mad at a volcano in a way.
Lava. Yeah. Volcano.
It's like getting mad at a volcano, and you go, "Well, human beings made the volcano erupt." Well, human beings are just like animals. We're just
here fucking around.
No, we're like yeast that eats sugar and shits alcohol. We eat oil and shit smoke. I mean, it's just something that we do. If you pulled back like an anthropologist or even just biologist, you'd say these bugs burrow into the ground and sop up the oil.
Yeah.
It's like if beavers move into your area, the water goes up. The water goes up. Nobody gets mad. Nobody calls the beavers fucking Republicans.
But here's the deal. BP didn't shit in their own mouth. They shit in the Gulf of Mexico's mouth.
Yeah, and by the way, it's the Gulf of Mexico. Like, nobody even gives a shit how the Mexicans feel about it. Like, it's a thing that America suffered for, and Mexico's like, we're not nuts about it either.
They're busy in a drug war right now.
Yeah, they're having a big drug war down there, and I don't know.
But it's all,
I just decided it was a great time to buy British Petroleum stock, and it went up. It started going back up after they realized. I bought it when it was still leaking. And the second they capped that thing and did the test, and it's like, well, it's capped. Ding, ding, ding. It ticked up. I sold out.
Of course.
And I'm like, I'm counting my oily fucking pelican money. My oily dead pelican money. It was fantastic.
No, and by the way, that's what people like to think, that it's all cleaned and it's been capped. Go buy BP again. Man, of course, it's just as bad. There's like wafting weird black jellyfish of oil now roaming the Gulf.
Yeah. Yeah, just kind of
killing creatures,
around, like killing things.
Yeah,
I know a couple of my buddies are the guys on the Northwestern, that Deadliest Catch crab boat, and they say even now crabbing up in the Bering Sea,
they get Valdez oil that they run into.
Still, yeah, like a foot thick. They'll pull up some pots, and they're just coated.
Wow.
Yeah, it's still in there.
Makes them real tasty, though, the
crab
legs. Oh, yeah. That oil seeps in the crab legs.
Nice and moist.
Oh, it's fantastic. Nothing better.
Wow.
Duff's like, God bless those guys, because those king crab legs are great.
They are tasty.
They are.
Fantastic. And then you watch the show, and you're like, God, I really got to appreciate when I eat these, because people are literally dying from... actually, what's his name?
One of the guys died.
Justin Tennyson.
They found him in a hotel.
Found him in a hotel?
Hope that's not the guy you knew, Duff.
No.
Jared.
Oh.
Yeah, he was...
one of the guys, they found him in a hotel room.
Kid,
Which ship was... Which one of the boats
he was on
the
Captain Phil's boat.
Yeah. Was it Captain Phil's boat? I don't even remember. Shit. I had to
that's all sort of close to home, all that stuff.
That was great.
Oh, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I like
So Loaded has a record coming out in April. We're going to play South by Southwest in a couple of weeks down in Austin, which is a really killer, great event. And we have a new record company that's just completely excited about the.
I'm sorry, I was just laughing that Louis found out how much I lost and said I could have set up a scholarship fund that would have lasted generations.
He could have done that with the money he lost in Atlantic City.
Wait, are you
generation?
What's that? No, I wrote that.
He wrote it down.
Because I asked him to tell me how much he lost, and so he wrote it down for me.
I wrote it down. And I could have affected an entire generation.
No, he would have had people like getting choked up when they said your name.
Yes.
Because of what opportunities you created for them.
Instead of me spitting on the floor, walking away from the table.
Where to me is the big hole in all of your conservative politics,
right?
Because I've heard you say, I listen to the show all the time. You know, when I'm not, I go when I'm shooting my show. We start working at 7 in the morning. I'm always listening.
Turn on the show.
Yeah,
and I always hear you saying stuff about like if I have to pay more taxes, then I won't pay a worker to fix my house.
Right.
Like if you don't let me have all my money,
I won't
help
afford.
Other Americans
and hire people.
But it's such bullshit because if your taxes go up, that's not what curtails your spending. What curtails your spending is losing a shocking amount of money playing blackjack.
But that's
what
part of
most
my
Americans,
enjoyment.
their taxes aren't their real burden. It's their fucking own stupid, retarded spending.
Right.
And their wife is like, where's the heating? You know, should we pay the gardener now? And they get a cold sweat. Oh, fuck, I bought a fucking Stretch Armstrong for $6,000 on eBay.
But that's my decision with my money, not not the government's decision with my money.
Yes, but you don't get to say that the government made you not pay a contractor by raising your taxes.
They make me pay money.
Throw your money away.
Actually, me and Opie had to talk about this, and I want to set the record straight as far as this whole tax thing goes with me. It's not even so much paying the taxes. I understand it. We eat it. We all have to fucking do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I can't do something because I'm overtaxed. I despise watching anyone on the news and whatever saying that the rich, the wealthy, where I fall into that category, aren't doing their part.
Well, who says that?
Every fucking Democrat and liberal is saying, well, the rich have to do their part. I've been doing my fucking part for years.
I've never heard that either.
Oh, please.
Let me
That's what you hear. That's what you hear. You're
It's
like,
constant.
you know what you're like? And this is what conservatives are like. They're like paranoid girlfriends.
Yeah.
Where if you say, I'm not crazy about how you said that. Why did you just call me a cunt? What? I didn't call you a cunt.
That is a direct...
I just asked you to treat me a little bit.
There are direct quotes from people saying the rich, the wealthy have to do their part. They're not doing their part.
Yeah.
They need to do more. They're getting too many breaks, whatever. And when I write a check to pay my taxes, I'm thinking...
Do you really sign the checks?
I'm thinking, yeah, I actually do.
Do you write them out and sign them, or are they pre-written?
I write them out.
Really?
It sucks. Yes. I write them out.
You don't have an accountant?
Yeah, but he doesn't write them out.
I just sign.
He just tells me how much.
I don't even sign them.
He tells me how
I
much
don't even
to pay.
sign them.
See, that's brilliant. Until they rip you off.
That's why I'm a liberal.
You're going to be so fucked
They're going to rip
one
you
day.
off one day, though.
You're
going
gonna
to sign your own checks.
I know it's worth it. It's been I've stored away enough years where he hasn't fucked me.
If Billy Joel could get fucked, Louis C.K. can.
Dane's own brother fucked him over.
But Billy Joel's what? Brother-in-law, was it?
Yeah.
I've been with my guy since 90-something.
Yeah, well, one day he's going to realize that he's not doing
at this
well
point,
anymore.
he kind of deserves it.
You know, there was a guy...
If he takes my money, he kind of deserves it. He floated me for many years. There was I remember one year where I was like, come on, I want to buy one of those. And he was fighting me over something I wanted to buy. And he politely blurted out, you haven't paid me in a year. I don't take money anymore because you're barely alive. The partners of the firm have told me to dump you several times.
Wow.
Good point.
Stop telling me you want to buy a fucking, Rolex. when we haven't taken our 2% in a year.
Over a year.
You asshole. So at this point, if he rips me off, he's got to come.
There are people that were with Bernie Madoff for like 17 years.
Sure,
and
17
longer,
good years.
And 17 great years.
Yeah.
And then just got fucked.
That's right.
So, I guess anybody is
Would you take that
capable.
deal? 17
good years
amazing, amazing
It
years.
all depends on how old you are when that ends.
That's true, when it starts.
If you're fucking 75,
you know what? It's a pretty
80,
good
fuck
deal
it.
for the victims because they're not much better off than he is in terms of they fucking did the same dumb corrupt thing. Their crime is they didn't care or want to ask.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets to be the lightning rod. He goes to jail and they get to go and start again. At least they get to start again and they're free.
Start over again, they're free, yeah.
But he goes to jail.
You got to think a lot of those guys kind of knew something wasn't right.
Something was up.
You got to think that.
Definitely.
Hey, I got one question for Duff, one GNR question, and I apologize ahead of time because I try not to ask you guys the GNR questions anymore because Slash goes, oh, man, come on. But there is like a weird rumor.
Well, as long as you're still doing the Super Bowl and playing, playing the one riff and then going back down on the riser.
Slash had a good gig.
Then he needs to answer the question.
He did have a good gig at the Super Bowl. And that's,
came up, played that one riff, and then back down to some quiet room with an intern. Am I done? Goes back under the field, and there's some bored-looking Texan kid there.
Can you imagine?
I think that's it on his headset. Yeah, I think that's it. You can go home.
You're done.
Is that a Texas accent?
What's that?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. I think you're done. You can go ahead and get back on the chopper.
Imagine the check he got for that, though.
Oh, yeah, that's
Holy
what
crap.
that was the easiest money anybody ever earned.
There is a rumor of
and also, by the way, it might not have been Slash. I mean, he's got the hat. And I'm not even saying that they fake Slash. I mean, that Slash could have sent you want to do that for me? Yeah, I'll give you $12,000.
Yeah.
Go do it for me.
There's no money in the playing Super Bowl half.
Oh, really?
No. It's
just an honor.
They
the
pay all the
exposure.
expenses and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's sort of just like
I didn't know
promote
that.
your thing.
Your project. Yeah. Well, there is a rumor the NFL trying to get you guys together, the actual Guns N' Roses together.
To play the halftime?
Next year.
Funniest thing was
is that a real, I mean, you've heard that rumor by now, right?
Yeah, I heard it in my own house. My wife comes to me. She goes, "Honey, the NFL's trying to get you guys. They're getting you guys back together for next year's." I said, "Baby, really?" She goes, "Yeah, it's on the internet." I'm like, "Honey, you're talking to me. Let's break away from the internet and get back to reality."
No, but it's right here on TMZ.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you don't know yet because it's on. You don't want to look at TMZ.
That's our culture, though. It's hilarious. She's living with the guy.
Yeah. You have to cut the thing.
Actually, turn your head away from the machine.
It's me.
Look at the person that you're talking about.
You could trust me, and you could trust me what I have to say about
14 years together. We're good. Like,
wow.
Yeah, no, it's just rumor and wild rumor.
I remember when Guns N' Roses broke, and I was in high school, and I was a senior. And the kids, freshmen and sophomores, started listening to Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses is the first band that I had the experience of saying, what are the young kids listening to? Like, I was a senior, but I was like, what is that? Because I didn't know any, but me and my friends were listening to Led Zeppelin, and Van Halen was like where we were at. And then freshmen and sophomores that had weird haircuts and were kind of fucked up, and they were listening to this Guns N' Roses, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, it was so different to me.
It was way above everything else out.
It was so from the gut. Like, you could hear every string of the fucking guitars. Like, it was such tightly wound. But I went nuts for it. I loved it. I still every time I hear it, I still
freaked
go
out.
Crazy.
I remember that. Yeah,
it really is rare because rock and roll, especially by the '80s already, was such a fucking oversaturated. Every color of the spectrum's out there. To have a sound that people go that shakes everybody.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's
rarely
great.
happens,
and it's weird to be. I mean, for me, to be sort of, to be inside of the thing and not being able to experience it from anywhere.
You're not getting
else,
to be a Guns N' Roses fan. You didn't get to be.
Yeah, I mean,
you didn't get to be a fan.
Like Slash, at this, it's so sort of iconic in some circles. Like Slash's top hat could have come up on that pedestal, and people would have went crazy.
Exactly.
Without even him
That's
in it.
how big the deal is.
So it went from us being like kind of street urchins. Really,
right.
It was a band from the gutter, and 5 guys. That's all we had was this music, nothing else, and it was that or kill somebody, really. And,
Well, it's like the Beatles coming out of Hamburg. Like, that's what made them great, was playing the rough rooms where you have beer thrown at you.
Yeah.
You're wearing leather because it's actually protecting you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the thought that they were tough guys back when they were actually in
the LA
Liverpool.
scene was such a... I mean, it was dangerous just because how strung out everybody was.
Yeah.
It was like it was hard to just survive.
Yeah.
And these guys found this, I don't know, you just tune into this frequency.
Yeah.
I moved
Played
to
this one
Hollywood.
note.
I moved to Hollywood in September of '84, and there was the Summer Olympics in Los Angeles in '84. September, the Olympics were over. So I guess what happened was the cops had cleaned up Hollywood, pushed everybody out, the hookers and the drugs and all that stuff, and there must have been some events in Hollywood, but I came right as the cops let down all the barriers.
Oh, and let everybody come and
the
flood back
floodgates
in.
were open. And I had no idea. I was 19 years old, and it was just dangerous. I didn't live in a high rent neighborhood.
Yeah.
I lived in like the kind of the dregs of Hollywood, and it was for real. I mean, it was on. It was dangerous. There was ghetto birds over my apartment every night. Helicopters.
Okay,
No, there was a time where you drove down Sunset and you had this feeling like, if I got out of my car, I could get killed and nobody will find me for a while.
Really, that bad?
Yeah, it just seemed shitty and
seedy.
But and by the way, they came out of there and it became one of them playing the Super Bowl for 5 seconds. That only happened, again, going back to our fucking earlier conversation, because of record stores in the 80s.
Yeah.
Because some record store owner in Indianapolis said, this sounds fucking hot. I think this will move if I put it out there. And it grew, and that's why he was able to come from the gutter up to mainstream, was through that system. It's like it's like a septic system or something.
Yeah,
like that there's receivers.
Actually,
and now if you got to go directly from your playing it to iTunes, you have to go right to mainstream. There's no coming up as much anymore.
I was living in Rochester, and we got Appetite from some guy in Arizona. It wasn't available yet. People were just kind of trading
you had
it
to
around.
go find that
I don't
shit.
even know if it was a bootleg. I'm not even sure.
That's
it's
why
been
the
so many
reason it
years now.
excited me was because I haven't heard this, and I don't know where these fucking kids got it.
It absolutely wasn't in my local record store. It was something that the kids at the time were just
the
passing
freshmen
around.
and sophomores
and then
in my school got it at the record store in Harvard Square.
And then they obviously changed the cover because you had controversy about the cover, right? If
Yeah,
I remember.
so-
and then it was mass. It was in every record store in America. But at first, when I discovered you guys, it was because some dude fucking mailed it to us from Arizona.
Yeah, that record was out for a good year
Before
and
it hit.
toured. Yeah, and they were about to pull us off.
See,
the
and
road.
that's because the record stores like Louis.
Yeah, because the record had legs, because it was given some time to seep out through the system. And people went, what are those fucking kids that I'm a little afraid of listening to?
Yeah, I think I'm too old now. But Guns N' Roses and Nirvana, when I heard those two fucking bands for the first time, I was like, holy
What is
shit,
that?
what is going on? And I haven't had that feeling since. But then again, I'm getting older, so maybe it's passed me by. But
Yeah, there is. I mean, I think there's sort of a disconnect now with younger bands coming up, and I have a feeling something's going to happen. But you're right. There hasn't been that one band
that wow
that's
moment.
polarized.
Maybe there has been, but I just I'm in another world now.
Yeah, I haven't heard it.
But I
about
can't
it
really
for a
think
long
of one off the top of my head that could have been, Guns N' Roses, Nirvana, and then who was next after that?
Yeah,
Or are we still
everyone's
waiting?
just still waiting for whatever Black Eyed Peas wants to do. Like there isn't that kind of like Darwinist thing in the music right now, where somebody else comes around and goes,
Lady Gaga.
forget everything you've ever heard. This is now
Right.
Yeah.
Forget
Or maybe
everything you've
somebody
ever
like-
heard, except Madonna.
Right.
Oh, did you guys hear that thing? You probably did. What is it? Lady Antebellum, the song that they won the Grammy for.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know
yeah,
who that is.
yeah.
I don't even know what that sounds like.
Do you know the song I'm talking about?
I heard the song on the Grammys.
Yeah.
Did you? Okay, so Bob Rivers, he's a DJ.
Yeah, Seattle guy.
Right? He's the next day after the Grammys, he was driving to work to his DJ job. He's a Seattle DJ now, and he goes, "I know this song. I know this song is something else, and it's a Alan Parsons.
Alan Parsons Project.
So he got to work and he put the two songs together. It's on on that internet.
Holy shit!
And it's exactly the melody.
What
and
Alan Parsons song? I don't know
You got it?
many
You bringing
songs
it up?
by Alan
He's
Parsons.
bringing- we got it. We got
Danny
it
will
coming
find
up.
Has this come out as a big deal? And it won a Grammy.
It won a Grammy. I think.
That's the lady. Antebellum.
Holy
my God! Oh, goddamn! Lawsuit!
Hello? Is that amazing?
Get the fuck out.
I didn't even see that one coming.
And I don't know how I can do without. I just need you now. And I don't need to see anymore to know that I could read your mind.
Fuck!
I could read your mind.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I certainly know that Alan Parsons song. Wow, what a good find.
Didn't even notice, but the second that kicked in, it was so exact. That's great.
And that's like so much even better than George My Sweet Love and
yeah.
Right.
That's even more exact.
Well, we were also
it's
talking
even the
about
same fucking arrangement.
Yeah.
Right.
Lady
But
Gaga doing Express Yourself.
It's that little.
Lady Gaga does Express Yourself.
Well, that's
it's fucking
where
Madonna's song.
So what's going on there?
I don't know. She do we have one of those?
Is Alan Parsons project person going to get some cash for that?
You would assume that they're looking into it.
You don't want that going in front of a jury.
No.
Wow.
No.
Let's
Mama told me when I was young.
Now, which one is this and who gives a shit?
Gaga. No, check it out.
Gaga Madonna.
See, at least this is twisted a little bit.
Yeah,
hear it?
There's a part of it that's exact.
Yeah.
This is Gaga.
Nah,
Not
fuck
as good as
that.
the other one, but
it's a twisted.
This guy didn't fucking do it.
No,
Right?
that other one's ridiculous.
Sucks.
That's amazing.
It's the exact
That other one
same
is-
arrangement.
You heard the George Harrison one, though.
Yeah. You would think you could rip off Alan Parsons because who cares? But that's one, that's a
Some
popular
guy,
one.
yeah, he's somewhere in Colorado like, what?
I heard.
Oh, that's a drag, man. Can we get some cash for that?
That's a drag, man. Okay, let's hear this one.
Who are these people?
This is Lady Gaga and
Someone might have just put it together wrong.
That's Gaga.
Yeah, but you know who they're both ripping off?
Yeah.
Is Annie Lennox. Would I lie to you, honey? Play that.
That does sound a little like
Would
that.
I lie to you?
It sounds
Would
a little like
I
that.
say something that... Just play that quickly while it's still in our ears.
Why? Because I can't, because it's going to show you a 30-second ad
Okay.
first. So.
Oh, Jesus.
Dumb ads.
and then now the ads on there.
Stupid ads.
Dumb
It's
ads.
so it's
Making the
interesting
internet
that,
free.
that the ads are for specific moments now. Like when you watch CNN or ABC News and it's sponsored by Kellogg's, it's
Yeah.
one thing. But when you want to watch one moment, like a man being beaten to death in Egypt, sponsored by
Target.
it's like, hey,
Yeah, Target.
did you know the Geico? And then a man being beaten to death in Egypt.
Doesn't seem to go.
Geico brought you this guy being beaten.
Right, thank you, Geico.
And aren't they funny? And what do they even fucking do?
Yeah.
I don't even know what they're selling.
Oh, let's see.
Hey, Frida.
Oh,
there's the story video. It's an old video with a story first.
Yes.
Hey,
remember these?
what's up? Duff had a story video or two in his career.
A couple of yeah.
The hell.
Oh, we're really going through this whole deal?
Oh my god.
Are we really
Yeah,
going
we
through
are.
this whole deal? Annie Lennox is.
Oh my God! It's a minute in. Finally.
Wow. This took forever.
This better be good.
This is like.
I know.
I see you. You're kind of over there.
Here we go.
Any second.
Get to the chorus, please.
Are you sweating?
But isn't that a Pretender song?
See you, honey. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, middle of the road.
You, honey,
A little bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
right, so play the Gaga.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
You're making
Oh, Danny's fucking head is going to
He's ready
explode.
for this.
Don't you know how to use tabs? Would I lie to you?
I think
You're doing your own mashup?
Yeah, that's right. All right, I'm not going to win any
I think it's
awards doing
tougher.
this.
It's obviously tougher with pop music because there's not many directions you go. There's only so many notes for pop music, right?
There's, about 12.
About 12.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot. Combinations of 12 are pretty high.
It gets pretty infinite.
Yeah. Pretty infinite.
Pretty
infinite.
Slightly
What is the universe?
infinite.
It's pretty infinite.
It's
pretty infinite.
Wow, that Alan Parsons though. Holy shit, I didn't hear that one yet.
Yeah. Hey, so okay, listen.
Yeah, let's go.
The joke for all ages here.
Right.
You know why Tigger bounces on his tail?
Because he's a cunt.
No.
That's not,
So he doesn't
no.
step on poo.
Uh-oh.
No, that's not working.
I don't think you're winning awards for that either.
Really? I had some good jokes last time I was on here. That one was not so good.
How
Sorry.
come Louis was
Sorry.
trying to do music and Duff's trying to do comedy?
check it out.
That really
You guys
isn't
gotta
working
switch
out
roles.
well.
Two lesbian frogs are sitting on a lily pad. And the one lesbian frog looks at the other one and goes, "You know what? We really do taste like chicken." It's my joke.
Louis just nodding.
Louis want to do another match?
I can't respond to jokes usually.
That was kind of a respectful nod he gave me there.
Louis, show him
I'm
how.
not sure it works, so I don't get it.
I like your kung fu.
Louis, pick up a guitar and show him how that feels.
I know. I respect that very much.
Show him how that feels. See how that felt? That's this.
I'm just
Watch.
fucking
Yeah.
with you.
That's hysterical.
No, music, hitting a chord that people remember is such
Forever?
a fucking powerful. I was at the Knicks game last night with
you were?
Chris Rock. I'm not bragging.
that's
I've never
kinda
been.
like-
You just did.
We were at the game and they're playing all this music, all kinds of rock and roll and stuff. And we were thinking about, I forget one of the songs. What's the song you hear at the fucking?
Always Ozzy Osbourne.
Used to be Gary Glitter.
Crazy
Yeah.
Guy,
Got in
right?
trouble.
And then we were thinking, there's been comics who have written jokes that are as good as some of these songs, but they fucking evaporate. They don't. Nobody.
You can't just play them over and
Nobody
over.
plays Steve Martin saying "Excuse me" after a slam dunk. And "Excuse me" was pretty
That could
phenomenal.
be good though. You might have started.
They
a
could
trend
do it
today.
after a foul called on a hometown.
Tell me
guy.
about the game. I don't. What happened?
That guy Carmelo was
I know
great.
all about that. Yeah. So Mello was there.
He
playing.
was great.
He was great.
Duff's
They
a big
played,
sports fan.
They played the Bucks.
The Bucks, yeah.
And the game started, and the Bucks looked really good because
Yeah.
they've been playing together.
As a team.
Yeah, and the Knicks had two new guys on the floor. That guy Chauncey, I don't know how you grew up
That
black
guy
with the name Chauncey,
He's
but
he's
he
a great player,
fucking
too.
is so good.
He's a great player.
He was running the offense, and it's his new team.
Right.
And the thing I really liked about the Carmelo guy is that he played really smart and conscientiously. Like he wasn't just a star throwing up hoops. He looked like he was he was crafty. Like we'll get the stuff you get to watch when you're there, that the camera's not there.
Yeah,
Watching him set up picks, watching him fool guys for the benefit of somebody else. Like doing fake give me the ball stuff when the ball's nowhere near, or pretending the pass is coming. Like that's something that great players do, because when your defender's looking at you, and then you pretend, oh, here comes the ball, and then the guy turns around and you fucking dash. Like he did such cool stuff.
Yeah.
He looked like a guy who hoped he was playing well. He looked, you know what I mean? You look at a guy and it's like he doesn't look cocky. Mm-hmm. Then he just quietly scored fucking 29 points. Whatever his first game in New York,
something like that. Knicks win.
They won.
Yeah, they won by 4.
They were never behind. I mean, the Bucks. They're not. They should have beat them.
Bucks can beat anybody at any given time.
But Duff's not an NBA fan anymore.
Well,
I know
here's
about
the
Duff.
deal. I'm from Seattle,
and they lost their team.
Yeah, that sucks.
Our team, yeah. But I think the best you're talking about, kind of sort of off of the camera play.
Yeah.
Remember Sam Perkins?
Oh yeah,
3-point guy.
Yeah.
And he always looked like. And I think he was baked the whole time on weed.
He had those lazy eyes.
We called him Sleepy Sam. And,
Sleepy eyes. There
I
you
mean,
go.
the word was out. Like he smoked a lot of weed, and it looked like he was high on court.
Yeah.
But he would just kind of meander.
Right.
But he was so crafty with it. He would all of a sudden he'd be there out like in the corner for a 3-pointer, and just a great guy to watch. Like sitting there.
Yeah, just I like earnest players.
Yeah.
How did Seattle lose their team?
But
How do you allow that to happen?
It was not unlike the Cleveland Browns thing.
Right, from back in the day.
Yeah.
Was it the middle of the night type of thing?
Yeah, but I think some team, like, Green Bay still has Lambeau Field. They're still operating the same way they always did. I mean, whenever you start buying massive stadiums and needing a bigger and bigger profit margin to stay alive, it's easy to tumble. Like if teams that have stayed in weird towns,
right?
Like Portland or whatever, is because they just sort of just keep doing the same thing. When they start overgrowing, I think is when it's like.
Why was it criminal for the Seattle Supersonics?
Well, okay, so Howard Schultz, the CEO of
By the way, we're
Starbucks.
going to acknowledge you do have to go, but I just want to hear this answer, and then we'll get you out.
Okay, so Howard Schultz owned the team. He's CEO of Starbucks. I think he had some whatever health problems, and he it was too much of a burden for him to have the Sonics. So Clay Bennett, who, when there was the hurricane in New Orleans went up to Oklahoma City and played during that like half of the season.
Yeah,
remember that?
yeah.
Clay Bennett was sort of this guy, this mover and shaker in Oklahoma City, Stern's like best friend. So all of a sudden, Clay Bennett's up. I'll buy the Sonics. Well, there was a thing in the contract that he couldn't move the team. Howard Schultz had in place. You can't move the team if you're going to
buy, but you can't move.
Yeah, and
Gotcha.
He bought the team and moved them. So there was lawsuits and all that stuff. But of course, the fans, we don't care about skyboxes and luxury suites, and we just want our team.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really pretty.
That's pretty sad.
Yeah, so it didn't matter. It's like when in Harvard Square, there used to be a place called the Tasty Diner that was there since like the 40s, and the company that eventually sold the building to Abercrombie bought the building and said they were going to tear down the Tasty and everything in it, and so that everybody started defending the Tasty, and it was a big movement. And somebody found out that George Washington had an office in the building.
Oh shit!
And so they said. So it got put on the National Register. You can't tear this down because it was a historic building, and everybody celebrated. And so the company that bought the building figured out what happens when you tear down a building.
Oh,
you don't go to jail. You don't go to the electric chair.
Right.
You get fined $200,000.
That's a great
half what you fucking probably.
Wow.
Theoretically lost on a blackjack table. Fuck it.
Fuck George Washington is the.
Fuck it.
That's what I just learned.
So then they just go, fuck it. Just pay it.
Shit.
Tear it down, pay the fine.
Wow.
And by the way, the building is no longer national. It ain't anymore.
Yeah. And they ripped it down.
They ripped it down. So that's what that guy did. He's like, it says I can't move the out of Seattle, or else what?
Yeah.
We'll be awful mad at you.
You nailed it. Duff, you really got to go. They're begging us to drag you out here. I don't know. You must have a busy
thanks for having
schedule.
me on.
So
Loaded, The Taking comes out April 19th here in the United States, and
And next time you're in New York, we want you to play. Last time you played, it was awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
this was good. Trust me, I liked it. But we like to, see you play a little bit.
My
too.
jokes, I should have brought a little stronger.
No, you were fine.
Stronger jokes.
I was going to think
I
about
got
it.
some really
You were in
bad-
Guns N' Roses. Don't worry about it. You're fine.
Yeah, you don't have to.
No, but usually
don't
that's
gotta-
kind of my morning
I'm just a
forte.
shitty shock jock. Don't worry about it. You're
No,
fine.
no, you guys
Your
are
legacy is set, okay?
Okay.
No,
fellas,
Duff
well,
McKagan, the good
Great
friend
to
of the
meet
show.
you. Thanks for the music.
All right, you're welcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, Duff.
All right,
Always a
guys,
pleasure.
Good one.
Might as well wrap up. Louis,
Yeah.
just an amazing appearance by Louis C.K. He's going to be at the Borgata, April 23rd. Tickets on sale now, so please buy them.
Please buy them.
Like
Show
I said,
number
I
2.
saw him at Carnegie, and I mean, I don't know what you're waiting for. It's an amazing show.
Thank you.
Are you going to have somebody warm up for you?
Yeah,
today?
somebody good. I don't know yet.
Get
Ooh.
Ted again. I
Yeah,
like the
somebody.
Ted. You'll figure it out.
Ask somebody.
That's your gig. And Louis C.K. on Twitter. I think that's it.
Nice.
Ready to go home?
Great show.
All right. Later.
This is the Opie and Anthony Show. Opie and Anthony on the Virus. Sirius XM. Sirius XM. The Virus.
The following sexually explicit CB radio transmission took place one evening in early 2010 between radio personalities Jim Norton and Anthony Cumia. Neither party has been made aware of its existence until now.
I'm thinking about you. Yeah. Did you get the video I sent? Yeah. I really do want to be rough with you. Wow. Well, what do you want to do? What are you going to do to wear me out? I want to treat you rough. Throw you around. Spank and slap you. Slap your face. Yeah. Treat you like a dirty little whore. Put my cock in your ass and then shove it down your throat. I want you to bite me. Now you're talking. Then I'm going to tell you to shut the fuck up while I slap your face and pull your hair for making noise. Wow. I want you to beg for my cock. Yeah. Kiss you all over to convince me to let you have it in your mouth. We will see how bad you want me. Whatever else turns you on. Whatever I want, you are mine. You please me like no other has or ever will. I'm not losing that. Great thing is we have a lifetime of this.
Okay, lights out. Good night, sexy.